And we're live. Everyone, welcome and thank you for joining us at the FC13 Podcast to finish off the Concacaf Nations League's group stage. We have Canada versus Honduras. It's a big game for Canada. It means a lot. I love the Gold Cup scarf. That's a beauty. Where'd you get that one?
I got that on sale this year off of I think it was that realsports.ca or something like
Nice.
that. It was
Oh,
on
nice,
sale for
nice.
like $20, so I had to grab it.
Pretty cool. So we got the lineup. We have two changes to the lineup. Steven Victoria is suspended, so we have Anderson Johnson come in, and no Richie Larea as Buchanan comes back fully healthy to start this match. Is this the right choice to bring these two guys in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit disappointed to not see Larea, but I think the way that we should play with the amount of positional depth we have at midfielder is just better to have the 5 in midfield instead of a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think it's the obvious choices. Buchanan's typically the one ahead of Larea. They play a very similar role. Simon, though, last time we played Honduras, we had a very disappointing loss. Canada fans were not happy with the conditions we had to play under. Being at home, do we see a difference in this game?
Yeah, I definitely think the difference of pitch will play benefit to us for sure, because with this new Canadian team, we like to move the ball pretty quick, especially in transition. So, yeah, not to knock on anyone's playing surface, but I think a proper one tonight will definitely help the boys with, what they try to do when they go out there and play.
Yeah, I mean, on home field, especially in CONCACAF, means so much for some of these teams. The big thing with this right now, if you don't know, if Canada win today, it will guarantee a U.S.-Mexico semifinal. That means one of them won't be in the finals, and it means Canada will either play Costa Rica or Panama. Those two play together tonight. So if Panama win, they go on and play Canada. If Costa Rica win, they go on and play Canada. If Canada draws, we do not get one of those two. If Canada draw, I believe we get Mexico in the first game. So this is huge. This is massive. This is Canada's real opportunity to get to a final and win a trophy for the first time since 2000 when they won the Gold Cup. Thomas, how old were you in 2000?
I was -9.
-9. Okay, so
holy shit.
That's fun stuff. So this is exciting for a lot of Canada fans, especially fans who've been here for so long. I personally was not on the 2000 train, but obviously it's something we all know about. We've won the CONCACAF Championship / Gold Cup twice in our history, 1985 and 2000. Simon, you've been following Canada soccer for how many years? About 10 years now?
Just about 10, nine-ish years, I guess.
So this could be our first chance together, in all honesty, seeing us potentially win a trophy. How important is it to win this game, you think?
Oh, to win this one?
Because a draw will put us through.
This is important. Winning this game is majorly important, just for exactly what you said. Like, winning sets us up against either Costa Rica or Panama.
Yeah.
And just that in itself, you always want. I mean, you want to play the best competition, but you'd also take the easier path if it's there to take, right?
100%.
We have the opportunity here in our hands. I mean, I wouldn't be completely disappointed with a draw, but anything less than that, I'm probably not fucking sleeping tonight. So.
Which, by the way, we are not throwing shade at all at Costa Rica and Panama. They're two very tough teams.
Yeah, no.
It's just more ideal than having to play the two giants.
I was just about to say, last time we played Panama, we actually did lose. We lost 1-0.
Yeah, exactly.
So Panama is no joke in CONCACAF. They are considered, I'd say, top 6, top 7 out of the top teams.
Easily.
So we don't want to laugh off Panama, but they are a hell of a lot easier than Mexico or the US. And even though Paul's not on the podcast tonight because he has work, but Paul was saying to us he watched it against Jamaica, and Canada should not be worried about Mexico. Do you think that's the case? Or do you think we should just focus and hopefully just get the best result as we need?
Well, I was watching the Jamaica game as well. And, I mean, it's no hidden secret that Mexico is definitely in an interesting period of their football federation. They've had a lot of drama, I could say, to say the
Wow.
least, between their manager and just a whole bunch of stuff, really. But yeah, stuff we don't need to get into, especially. And so yeah, I mean, it would be the time to play Mexico. But actually, to tell you the truth, I think we're actually set to play USA if we draw.
It is the U.S. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it is.
I'd have to look at the table because it's basically like a 1 versus 4
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah.
The best place to work out the least amount of points that was
And
gathered.
yeah, US is they're first or okay. I seen people earlier saying online it might be USA. So either way, US. I'd rather take Mexico over that.
Well,
for
I guess
sure.
if we draw, it also depends on the Panama and Costa Rica game because if they draw as
Yeah.
well, it might be a whole different scenario. What's
Yeah,
important though is we can't worry about anyone else's results. We have to go in there and get the win ourselves to secure
Yeah,
our own path.
exactly.
We
And
can't
just
put the
play who's
faith
in
into
front of
others.
us, right? We just have to play who's in front of us. I mean,
Exactly.
we got the World Cup, so we should be competing against Concacaf Nations.
Yeah, and I think some people might be upset that we don't see Lattori or Sitar maybe start this game, but I don't think it was expected. I don't think we should see them. If anything, Curacao was their game. But if this game
Yeah.
goes in Canada's favor, we could see them squeeze in there, potentially get capped. But
For
at the
sure.
moment, Honduras is a better competition than Curacao. This game means more. It's important to put out the best lineup as we can because again, we've seen Honduras, and if anyone's familiar with Canada soccer history, Honduras likes to kick our ass, bite us in the ass, do whatever they can to bring us down. We see it year in and year out. Every time we have to play Honduras, it's not the walk in the park we hope it to be. No matter if we have Jonathan David or Davies on the field, it doesn't matter. Honduras shows up for Canada every game.
Well, I think this could be like one of the biggest games of our year. Obviously, last year we had the World Cup, and 2023, Honduras at home, and people will overlook it because it's the Nations League. But if we win this, we get to the Final Four. We've proven we can do anything against the big teams. And if we get that type of momentum, especially with the finals of Nations League coming 1 week before the Gold Cup starts, or 2 weeks, the momentum is very much needed and could be pivotal.
Don't forget, we look at the last Concacaf Nations League. Canada drew with the United States on points. We were knocked out on goal difference. We beat them in Toronto, lost to them in America, and America was able to win by enough goals to knock us out on goal difference. I think for the last couple of years, we've proven we are one of the top in CONCACAF, but now it's really time to prove it and consider us a serious title contender. Gold Cup the last Gold Cup, we were knocked out by Mexico, and a lot of people felt gypped off in that one. There was so much time added on the clock because of Mexican fans being just honestly ridiculous. So this is a real chance to show that we not only deserve a trophy, but to win it and at least be considered serious competition. And 100%. This game also matters for Gold Cup placement as well. Yeah, I mean, Gold Cup is a different tournament. Gold Cup is probably a little bit more prestigious. It's one we want more. But hey, I think any Canada fan just wants to win something, even if it's Nations League. Like it or not, it's a tournament. Go in there and win it. And that's why we have players like Davies here, David, Laren, because it's not something we're taking lightly. We want to win this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, for Herman, it has to be just go out and win every game because, like it or not, at the World Cup, U.S. was the best of the CONCACAF teams. So if we can just one-up them this year, do what they did 2021 with the double Nations League and Gold Cup or something close to that, I'd like any trophy, to be honest.
And I agree. And I think Herman wants it. And I've been saying this since before the World Cup, that Herman needs to get something going for us. He's done a lot for us. He's got a young group. He's got core. He's got talent. He's starting to pick from the CPL a bit once they move into bigger countries. Herman's done a lot. He deserves a statue already for himself. But something that's going to get him literally like grinded into Canadian history is winning some sort of trophy.
For sure, yeah. No, they could probably build a statue once he does that. I'd like to think, I feel like a trophy is definitely in the cards for us, whether it's a CONCACAF competition or I don't know. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like a trophy is here within the grass within this cycle or the next few for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
it has to start with an iconic photo on the pitch at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas where Herdman and Davies were lifting up the trophy together, build
Yeah,
it
no.
outside BMO, and make it something that, Canadians come to see.
Yeah, and if we could do something like win Nations League, win the Gold Cup, by the time of the next World Cup, it's not be like, oh, Canada did something amazing. Canada did something we'll never thought we'd see. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're hosting, so they're going to be there. But it's once you win competitions, people look at you a little bit differently. Like you look at any time a World Cup happens, and you look at African teams or Asian teams, you'd be like, yeah, you know what? They're not the best team, but they won the Asian Cup this year. They're not a team to take lightly, and everyone will say that about any team going into the World Cup if they have those home trophies to back them up.
Right now is not about winning like we did it. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Right now is not about proving ourselves once. It's about proving ourselves again and again and again.
100%.
So we're not,
and that doesn't necessarily
14 game wonder, however long the octagon was.
And that doesn't necessarily come with a win. It comes with being competitive and proving that we can put up with the biggest teams there.
Yeah, we have to be sustainable.
Yeah.
Which obviously you look at the broadcast right now, expensive tickets and no one being able to be in the upper section. We are currently not sustainable, but hopefully we can.
It's weird.
Turn that around.
Tickets were a different story for this.
I was going to mention that.
It's weird. We have Andre from the podcast. He's there right now. He's in the crowd. Nobody's happy with the prices. Nobody's happy that they weren't selling tickets to the upper bowl. It is weird, especially with Canada soccer. Like I've seen this team do very well ticket wise for teams against like Jamaica and Costa Rica. So to have a team like Honduras again, it is Honduras in Concacaf. They are one of the bigger horses, but they don't necessarily have to sell that much against Honduras. It's just this game is important. They had to deal with this differently, and I don't know if it's because we're a World Cup team now or what, but it was weird to see the prices go the way they did.
You know what our real home field advantage is? It's not going to be the fans. It's going to be Milan Borjan is wearing pants. So 1, 2, we're coming out in our teams like tracksuits, whatever. Honduras is coming out in like puffer jackets.
Oh, those are full-on winter coats, and it's not even that cold, Honduras.
Yeah, it's not
that cold.
Also, I would seriously doubt that in the Honduran team's like jersey contract, there's an expense for buying them like puffer jackets. You would not think they would need them.
Well, if you remember back in the World Cup qualifiers, they had emergency jackets and gloves shipped to their hotel.
Jeez.
So, and also some of their players had hypothermia, so they're probably getting like fucking like flashbacks and
you know what?
PTSD last time being in Canada.
You know what, Honduras? You give us your crappy weather, we're gonna give you ours.
Hey, you know what? That was my biggest defense for Honduras.
Seriously, man.
A lot of Canadians bitch about the field about, hey, you know what? We brought them out to Edmonton in the middle of the fucking winter. If you start bitching about their field, they're going to start bitching about our home field advantage. I'm sorry. As shitty as it was, it goes both ways. It really does.
Oh, yeah. That's the beauty of Concacaf. Right?
Beauty of Concacaf, but it's home field advantage for a reason.
Yeah,
It really
100%.
is, and it's not just the crowd. It's
yeah,
not
I
just
completely. Oh, I see Atiba's getting honored right here.
Yeah, that's cool.
My audio's off.
Mark.
Yeah, my audio's off. I don't hear it, but
I'm just watching. I see him hugging his family right now, I guess.
I think it's some Canada legends, no?
Oh, yeah, that's Julian.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I think de Guzman's there.
I just have a small screen. Yeah, that's Julian. But that must be like some of his family there.
Hey, look, Atiba's a legend. He's we all love him. I hope if you listen to our podcast, we've had a lot of conversation about Hutchinson being involved in this team, not being involved. I truly believe he's going to be part of this as far as we go in this competition, and he's possibly going to play the Gold Cup with us. I can't see it away at the moment. And the reason for it is because we could win both. We're going to be considered favorites, or at least high favorites in both of these competitions. I can't see Hutchinson leaving at any points before.
My problem with him maybe going off in the Gold Cup is that his last Canada game won't be a home game. I think he fully deserves to have a send-off where sold out and not sold out like this, actually sold out, where it's a meaningful game.
I don't know if it'd be meaningful, but I could fully see him doing Gold Cup, and then a friendly at home to say his goodbyes.
September is when the next 22 or 23, 24 Nations League starts. So
It
we
is,
will
yeah.
have a home game. So if they schedule the first home game in Toronto instead of the second one,
That's a
then
good point.
he could be.
He could be. Hey, he very well could be. I just don't see him handing up the boots quite yet. Even though he doesn't have a club, until Ottawa signs him. Ottawa put that offer out. Until Hutchinson officially signs with the club, he is clubless. Which, I mean, it's not abnormal, I guess, especially for players his age. Like, he's obviously getting in because of his name and his ability, and his leadership. Sorry, he is a big player, regardless if he's. You have to think when he retires, he's part of this team in some way or another.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Maybe he'll be the he'll be either the successor to Cargo at Ottawa, or he'll be the coach of Simcoe County Rovers.
I can see Simcoe. I can
Sure,
see
Honestly,
Simcoe happening.
If he was player coach of Simcoe County Rovers, that would be some incredible
Yeah, that'd be one.
I would really
Canada
love
soccer
for
stuff.
him. I would love for him to put his name somewhere in the CPL. Like, imagine just for one season he decided to play in the CPL. That would be
Man,
huge for the league.
That's my dream, bro. Like to start seeing some older Can NT veterans like start filtering.
Well, we've already
into
got
the
a couple.
league.
We've had a couple of players who, not legends, but we've had some veteran men team players come to the CPL.
Yeah.
Hutchinson would be a new caliber. It would be someone who's played at the World
Yeah,
Cup.
like star.
Our most
Yeah.
capped. Like, it would be similar to me when Julian de Guzman went to the Ottawa Fury. That was huge. And he actually missed the Ottawa Fury's finals against New York because of an international call. They were in the finals of the NASL, and Julian de Guzman left the team to go and play for Canada, which obviously I understand.
Yeah.
But no, this is something like Hutchinson playing in the CPL would bring the league and how real the league is so much further.
For sure.
It's a bit. I think he just might hate Ottawa Fury because he's had like times where he's been not playing for Canada. Bit of a role reversal there. Julian Guzman.
What do you mean?
There was a time when like he was playing where all the players like didn't play for Canada, like all the good players like him.
Oh yeah. I'm a big Julian de Guzman fan. He had the most caps before Hutchinson recently took him over last year. He's a Canada legend. He had a very impressive career, and I actually like seeing him on TSN now as well.
Great post career too. Like he's doing amazing for himself.
He's a
he was part of the Ottawa Fury management for a bit, and then he got a TSN deal to be a broadcaster or whatever you want to call him on there. Julian de Guzman, he's the face of Canada soccer. We need more players who do what he's doing, in all honesty. And we have Jordan Wilson doing that with One Soccer. I mean, he doesn't carry the same name as de Guzman, but he definitely. I want to see more Canadian players get involved after the game. Get involved. It's not just about on the field product, right? It's about everything about it.
Yeah,
he is a York legend, so
a York legend.
He is very much a York legend.
What calibers as a legend?
I think 4 years into the league, it means someone who plays, a lot
of games
very well.
Yeah, and how many games did he get?
He played 2 years with us. I think he played like all the games.
Yeah. Okay. So he got roughly 40 games or so. Okay.
I mean, not close to like how many games Absy played, but he's still.
Yeah. No Absy, and it's not like Borges or Becker level for Forge.
No, but he's a great like CPL player in terms of a Canadian player playing in Europe, comes back home.
He was a solid, reliable player. I'll give him that.
Exactly, he was reliable and
he was one of York's better players for the better.
Yeah, and he sort of like embodied like the fighting like spirit. He was a leader. Probably should have been the captain, but Zator is a great captain. Anyway, I'll save that for the FC13 York takeover.
Yeah, you know what's funny though? Like a couple years ago when the CPL started, I joked with my brother. I was like, you know what? Hutchinson will retire with York, and I said that as a joke, and I don't think it's going to happen anymore. But you know what? Hutchinson had potential. He could.
Dude, did you know he started in York?
Well, exactly. Well, he's from there. Well, yeah,
he's from here.
He played for the York Region Shooters.
Hutchinson 100% could be like, you know what? I'm going to the CPL for one season. I'll go home, play in front of my friends and family.
At York.
100% at York. But I don't know. I don't judge it, but like someone like Ricketts as well from Vancouver. When he retired, I was kind of like, damn it, man! Like you could have done 1 year in the CPL. You're still young. You're a talented player. It would have been cool to see Ricketts into the CPL.
Man,
for sure.
I know, bro. I was thinking this exact same.
Maybe if he'd just like wait another year, Vancouver FC.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, boys, we're
Because you
getting
see, like
ready
Callum Irving, those like Vancouver guys.
Yeah.
You know, they'll represent Vancouver first chance instead of Vancouver Island.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's going to happen eventually. Maybe we're just not there as a league yet, and we're a little bit ahead of ourselves. But
Anyway, here we go.
As I kicked
Go,
off for you.
boys, game
Yep.
time.
Oh, you're a little bit ahead of me.
Here we go.
Damn it.
There's Kennedy at the back.
Yeah.
Kennedy with a face mask.
Yeah, back at it.
Yeah, see, Candy was one I was kind of questioned coming into the squad because he really isn't playing much with Jonberg at the moment. He gets the odd sub here and there, but other than that, he's not getting a lot of starts. So Candy was a question for me, but he had a great game against Curacao. I do like Candy. It's just, I don't know. I would rather see someone like Herberts get the role over him because he's been playing, he's been active, and he's had a great start to the season with St. Louis. The whole St. Louis squad has.
Here's the thing: you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know if you don't try. And I just think Hebert, since he plays in MLS, there's a bit more doubt about him from Herdman, maybe, but he's got to try it. I think late in the game because he's not one of those guys like Zator or Laturi where like he complete wild card. Hebert's not a wild card. He's playing, you know, in MLS is a pretty good league. He's playing for the last undefeated team.
Yep.
So
Minnesota still hasn't lost.
Oh, my bad. Dane St. Clair.
No, I will say Lattori and Satar are both in solid leagues. Like it's not like they're in like some bush league type thing, you know, like especially Dominic Satar. And he's had some good games there. Dominic Satar hasn't really had a bad game since going to Poland. And I wonder how much Herdman had a say in him going there. I'm not saying Herdman called up the team and said, hey, give this guy a spot. But
is that kind of the role of a national team coach?
I don't know if he calls up clubs, but maybe he does. I don't know. But you know,
he probably recommended it. Like said it was a good move or whatever.
Like Zatar was definitely wanting to get into the lineup. He made a call, and Herdman's like, look, if you want to be playing, you got to get out of the CPL. You got to go to Europe. And he went back to Poland, where he's from originally, right? Like he's, or at least has Polish blood.
Yeah, he has citizenship and DNA. He's from Calgary.
Yeah. So it was a smart move for him, and it's paid off, and it's paid off hard. Lattori, I don't think Lattori went there to necessarily get recognized for the Canada team. It just sort of happened for him.
Yeah, he just became really good. He was great in Ross County.
100%.
Yeah, he made a good step-up move, and he's been performing well, and that's all you can ask for, really.
Let's go, Canada. Ka.
Man, just
let's
real
hear the
quick
support from you guys in the chat.
To show some respect to the opposition, obviously look out for number 12, Romel Kyoto, playing for CF Montreal.
Yeah, he's definitely their power horse in Honduras.
He had one goal and 1 assist and 3 starts in the first Nations League window. And then Anthony Lozano, number 9, playing in Spain right now for Cadiz. And then the back line, Johnny Levron and Daniil Maldonado, 2 solid center backs to look out for sure. And also the midfield duo of Arriaga and Flores have been pretty solid in all the games for Honduras.
Yeah.
I like the enthusiasm you got there.
Hello, Ian. Welcome to the chat. And hello to Jamal. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be here all game. Keep the comments in. If you have questions, we'll talk about them. If you have talking points, we will talk about them.
Yeah, let's talk about the game.
Enjoy the game.
Oh, that's a good ball.
Yeah, good ball to Tejon.
Goes more to the wing. Oh,
shit.
good play.
Like 30 seconds ahead of me.
Go. Oh.
Fucking hell.
Can you refresh it all, Michael?
Huh?
Are you watching on TV? Like Fubo on TV?
No, Fubo on my computer.
Can you refresh it maybe?
Oh, maybe. I'll give it a go.
We'll try not to celebrate, I guess, a little bit.
Here, I'll try to refresh. See if it does. Like,
Simon, this is do or die. So I think there will be some celebrating.
No, I know, Thomas.
What minute are you
I
guys
say
on?
that, and I can definitely not be
We're
able to contain
4 minutes
myself.
20 seconds, pretty much.
All right, so you're about like 15 seconds ahead of me.
Jeez.
It's probably because it is from like one soccer broadcasted to Fubo, but regardless, boys.
It probably is the Fubu. Actually, you're right.
Aftab says Argentina already 5-0 up against Curacao.
5 goals in 37 minutes.
Jeez.
I don't know if he's joking or not.
No, I think they are playing Curacao.
No, they are playing Curacao. I just don't know if I believe 5-0 already.
I would totally believe that. We scored 2 goals in them in a half.
I like to think a team we only beat 2-0 isn't doing that bad against Argentina.
Huh?
I like to think.
But we were in Curacao. So.
Is Messi playing? Check.
My logic is that we got blown out by Croatia and then Croatia got blown out by Argentina. So if we beat Curacao, Argentina should smash Curacao.
No. I'm not saying that 5-0 is unbelievable. I'm saying in the first 37 minutes is kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean, let's see.
I gotta ask you, Jamal, how many goals are those by Messi? Is Messi playing? Does Messi want to play Curacao? Does he know where Curacao is?
Oh, nope, he's right. It's 5-0 in the 40th minute. Messi has a hat trick.
Messi had it. Yeah, he just commented. Thank you, Jamal. Messi hat trick. Well, that's Messi for you.
Yeah, some goat shit right there.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's
man.
awesome.
Yeah,
Enzo is a goal as well.
Messi should score a double hat trick against Curacao. Like that should be his minimum.
That should be his goal.
Honestly.
His
Show
minimum.
he's still better
That should
than
be
Holland.
his floor.
Now we got the conversation. Where does Curacao compare to the Saudi Arabia League with Messi, Ronaldo?
I would say that most of the Curacao players could do pretty good in the Saudi League.
I'm going to disagree with you. I won't disagree with you there. I know Curacao has some decent players, but I don't know. I think the Saudi League is a lot better than people give it credit for.
Ian has a Honduras handshake with Canada.
Oh, yeah, Michael.
We have Ian, who's a Honduran supporter, it looks like.
All right. Good to see we've got a lot of people from both countries in the chat. Hopefully,
yeah, that's awesome.
One way or the other, we don't offend anyone for our celebrating of Canada.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's
we respect.
Actually, let me ask you this, Ian. Canada fans are not the biggest fan of Honduran, the Honduran soccer club. A lot of soccer team. A lot of us do not like you guys. How do you guys feel about Canada? Is it neutral? Do you care? Is it like whatever?
They probably think we're like a cakewalk.
Probably.
They probably look forward to when we play them.
I don't know.
We're just still upset. We're just still kind of upset about things that have happened in the past that Honduras have done to us on the pitch.
Yeah, too many times. Like we could be like miles away ahead of Honduras, and I still I don't want to play these guys. Jamal, hoping we could go to Copa America and make a statement against a big combo team. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Even if we lose it, just to show up and actually perform at a competitive level. We had that friendly against Uruguay before the World Cup, where Canada didn't play great, but I felt like it could have went a lot worse, and we did a decent job.
I think that not even against a big not traditionally big, but a currently big CONMEBOL team. We're not asking for 5-0 against Argentina in the 40th minute. All we need is
let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
It's Laren.
I'm 20 seconds behind.
Jeez, talk about a man on form. Get in!
Come, Laren, I love it. There's something about Laren scoring that I absolutely love.
Let's go. He's so informed.
In
Spain, in Canada, in Curacao, wherever he goes. He is on fuego right now.
They're going mental. They are going mental right now. They love this guy.
First of all, great give and go with him and Osorio to get it.
Yeah.
Thread the needle there.
Was nice.
Great finish.
Oh, that was
He's got to juggle the ball a bit. Great
honestly looked like
through
they
the
play on the
defender's
same
legs
club.
too.
That looks like they play on the same club together. Okay.
It does.
That was some good shit.
That's huge. We had to score first.
That's the connection, baby.
Adds another goal
That's
to
the
his
brotherhood.
Adds another goal to his Canada total. Adds another goal to 2023 Kyle Laren is on fire. One of the
Laren
hottest
is just
strikers-
so good right now.
one of
Like,
the
Michael,
hottest
I feel
strikers in the
bad.
world.
We're 30 seconds ahead of you, man, but it's hard not to celebrate.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
dude,
Hey,
this
hey,
is huge.
it's what comes with the live stream, all right?
I don't know if
True,
I'm
true.
just like being stupid, but does Laren have a nickname or no?
I swear I've heard one. I
Or
could have heard one.
Larenissimo.
Larenissimo. That's what they're calling him.
I've seen a lot of people call him that, like Real Valladolid fans and also like Canada fans now.
Okay.
But I feel like he needs like Jonathan Davis, like the Iceman and stuff. I think he
Is
needs
it
something
Hutchinson
cool like
with the
that.
moose?
I guess.
I think Hutchinson's the moose. I think so.
Okay.
That makes sense, actually.
I could be wrong. It's not as good as the Brim Reaper. The Brim Reaper. It's not as good as that.
Oh, that's such a good name.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot who said the Brim Reaper in the last live stream, but that
Don't worry.
is
He's
such
at
a
the
good-
game today. He's actually at the
okay.
game. He did the trip from Ottawa to Toronto.
Big time there.
Yes, it's L9. He's the R9 of Canada.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Okay, so
Yeah, I do.
L9.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Another
okay.
Another little breakthrough for the boy there.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Corner.
Boys, this
I
has been a
see we-
good first 10 minutes. Like, we're on the front
Yeah.
foot. Boys are
Hey, we're
playing
taking
good.
this game serious. The more goals earlier on, the better, because
Obviously.
that's where we get maybe Satar or Lattori, even Herbert. Hell, you
Exactly.
want to Florian out for McGill? Have fun if we have a good enough lead.
Honestly, McGill would be amazing. Now, what I'm wondering is Boreon.
Man, too
That's
easy,
two.
boys. Too easy.
We're stuck
Too
here.
easy.
Lining up the corners.
Yes, come on, Laren.
Kyle Laren, baby.
Man, let's go, boys.
Baby.
Oh, Laren, we do.
Boys.
Oh, Kyle Laren,
Are
we
we about to
do.
eat
Kyle
one?
Laren,
Are
we
we about to
do.
eat
Kyle
one?
Laren, oh, we love you.
Are we about to 8-1 Honduras?
Jeez.
Go. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh,
Let's
great
go.
header. Man,
Rock him up, baby.
Man.
Rock him up.
let's
Place a
go.
prop bet on a Kyle Laren hat trick while you can.
Laren's on fire. Your defense is terrified. Laren's on fire.
Ha. La 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 la
Na,
la
na,
la
na,
la
na,
la
na,
la.
Na, 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 na.
Oh, goals. He's scoring goals.
He will just score goals and goals. He will score goals.
So, Thomas, let me ask you this. Thomas. You're only 14. So, what's your first, like, do you remember the first Canada team that you remember seeing on the field, and how has it changed from then to now?
Jeez. I'm not totally sure. To be perfectly honest, the first Canada team I probably ever watched was like the women's team because I was doing better.
Oh, that's fine. Hey, everyone has their introduction in different ways, right?
You know, I think when I was
Rewind,
really getting into football was like when the
rewind.
women were like going, you know, deep into the in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then I was following Canada on like the road to the octagon.
Okay.
So one of the first things I remember was following that game against Suriname
Okay. So,
in
yeah,
like the pre-octagon.
the game that was on YouTube.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
think I watched that?
Yeah. That's how I watched it. I remember that one. Actually, if I remember correctly, I had COVID and I was in bed watching that one. I think so.
I don't think I watched the whole game, but it was cool to. I'm pretty sure like that was the first Canada game I was really like exposed to.
Well, it sucks that you missed the times where we had
Oh.
Dave Edgar starting at right back, Marcel Dejan on the left back.
So
Yeah.
back in my day when
Back in my
Canada
hey, we had Hutchinson,
was still amateur.
Guzman, but
I remember my first Canada game was on like the Sportsnet website in like 2014. Like it was streaming on the Sportsnet website. It was the worst quality soccer game I've ever watched in my life.
In terms of the amount of pixels, or in terms
Like
of
like the broadcast. And I remember it was like Will Johnson was starting in center mid. Like just exactly the lineup, pretty much Michael said too, and
I
yeah,
do
like
sort of.
Marcus Haber starting up front. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and our
interesting
Ricketts was
time.
one of our our go-to
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
I do sort of wish that, like, you know, I was what I would have watched back when, you know, it was like De Guzman, OG Di Rosario.
I just
Uh,
missed the
Man,
Rose.
I didn't even get to see De Rosario.
Yeah,
but,
I literally got into it a couple months after he retired.
Well,
like I seen him.
you might see
just
the new
as-
one.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
There
Hey,
was
I
a boy who
started
played for
watching-
York.
I
yeah.
started watching in 2014, so Dero is just coming back to Toronto FC for his last stint there.
I don't remember the first game I watched on TV, but the first game I went to for the men's was the first and only Gold Cup game held in Canada against Costa Rica. And
Ooh.
it was a 0-0 draw, but we needed to win to move on. And Canada scored, but it was called back offside. And that ref got so fucking lucky. It was literally a fucking if offside by this much. And I was gutted. Like I was getting this was my introduction to the game. I was such a new fan. I didn't think I cared that much until it was a draw and my stomach just fucking fell. I couldn't believe it. I was like, we were so close. We had it. But that was one of the best kind of crowds I've been to. The crowd that showed up for that Costa Rica game was awesome.
I think maybe the next Nations League, I'm gonna have to go to one of the games. And if you are gonna go to one of the games, you SeatGeek.
Yes, SeatGeek. Yes, use SeatGeek. And you actually use SeatGeek for anything and use the code FC13 Pod and you get $20 off your first purchase. And I don't know about you guys, but it's concert season coming up, all these outdoor concerts coming up, and it is expensive as fuck. I can't believe some of the prices for concerts right now. And get $20 off if you use our code at SeatGeek. That's FC13 Pod. And Jamal has told us about his first Canada game. Was watching us against Honduras. It was the 8-1 loss. And that one sits deep.
Jeez. What an introductory.
That sits deep with so many Canada fans.
If that was my first Canada game, I would not like soccer.
I was about to say,
go right back to hockey.
Yeah, props to Jamal for sticking with it.
Yeah, you stuck with us after that loss. What the hell made you look at that game and be like, yeah, I like this? That was the game.
You know, maybe he's actually a Honduras fan. We don't know for sure.
I mean, he's cheering on Canada's score, so I like to think no.
We're effortlessly getting the ball into their box.
Like Honduras looks lost.
They really do. You're right.
All over them on defense too.
Well, we're just storming up the pitch. Our numbers are just getting up there a bit.
And look at that.
Tony's
slower.
Tony's looking like a 25-year-old out there right now.
Yeah.
If Canada had to play one up front, who would you go with? I'd go with Cal Laren. I think he's just a little bit more consistent than David, just at the moment. I would personally go with Laren. I like the bigger bodies up to play that one up at the top. Bigger in the box. He's not going to get pushed around as much. And he just has such a good finish. Like, he just knows where to put the ball. And I'm not saying Jonathan David doesn't, by the way. And I think I'm in the minority to go with Laren. But when it comes to country, I think Laren's a little bit more consistent.
Laren is just great in such great form as well.
Yeah.
Also, what's interesting is Jonathan David. So Herman's given the number 10, which suggests that David is going to become a bit more of like a winger type for Canada or something like that. Obviously, numbers.
Cam.
I mean, 10 is usually Hoylett, right? But he's injured.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you could still give Jonathan David 20.
I love football anyway, so I just decided to support my country through and through, and that's what we love. No one
for real. Jamal
doesn't support their own country, all right? And it's, you know what's funny though is I saw a lot of people leading up to this World Cup that were like, you know what, like I want to Canada do well, but that's not who I've supported, so I won't go with either like the country my parents are from. Like my brother's an example. When Canada started to get like pretty good, and I've been on Canada's back since day one of me getting into soccer, and I was talking to my brother, and he's like, you know what, I want to see them do well, but if it comes down to England, I'm going for England. That started to change when Canada officially qualified for the World Cup. He messaged me and he's like, dude, this has affected me more than I thought it would. Like, he was very much into this. He's like, I didn't think I'd catch this as much as I am. I'm like, dude, I've been here. Like, I hate the people on those guys being, oh, I've been here since this time or this. Like anyone who's watching deserves to have the right to be like, you're a diehard fan.
Yeah,
It's just,
big time.
but you know what? When you've been around longer, it means something to see them. Exactly. Like we have Jamal here who saw us lose 8-1 to Honduras. So to see us
It
get to
literally
a World
didn't
Cup,
get any worse than that.
to see
My
us get to a
goal,
World
like
Cup.
now, because I'm sort of a bit late with Canada, because my first real experience like with
Hey,
them
you're
is
not late. You're perfect timing, buddy.
Just in time.
yeah,
Yeah.
like enough for the qualifiers. But after the World Cup, I just thought like I want to make sure I can watch
This
like,
is now
every
your
Canada
hardcore-
game.
This is now your hardcore obsession that you'll hate your life over. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
We're
you know,
not
next
hating right
time,
now,
next time
though,
we go to
boys.
San Pedro Sula, if I'm just not available for the live stream, my computer broke down due to tears.
And no, it is something special to see where we are now. And
Man, while we're reminiscing about like Canadian soccer past, I remember watching my first Gold Cup in 2015.
Yes.
We didn't even score a goal. We
yeah,
didn't score a single goal.
yeah, I was
I
there for
still-
that one.
And like
Yeah.
I remember just like watching the third group stage game and like just
Well, that was the
fucking
Costa
praying
Rica
that we
game.
put one in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2015 was the Costa Rica one in
See, like,
Toronto.
no goals in the Gold Cup group stage, and now
Yeah.
here we are competing for a spot
Yeah.
in the
I
Nations
remember-
League semifinal.
Yeah, I remember around the same time, we had the World Cup qualifiers where we had to play 2 games against Mexico, and we lost both of them. And of course we did, though. But we also had a tough time because we were in the same group as like El Salvador, and we had a tough. We lost to an El Salvador team that didn't even play their real lineup because of a strike. Like
Wow.
it was mental, and it just
What
it just
year was
changed.
that?
That was the World Cup qualifiers for 2018.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was at a bar
I
for that
remember that
game.
El Salvador story.
I was at the bar for that game, and it was such a dead bar. Like it was actually filled with Canada fans, but you wouldn't tell we were there to watch a game. It was just so like relaxed. It was weird.
Maybe because they didn't think like the stakes were high, but maybe because they didn't sort of think the stakes would be so high because there was an expectation that we wouldn't.
Oh, it was, yeah. And that was actually one of the games because as much I'm actually was never the biggest fan of Ricketts, and that game almost sealed the deal for me to be like, fuck Ricketts. We have Adriano. This is the golden generation. Let's savor it. You're 100%
Yes.
right.
Yes. You know what I really like
110% right.
I
about
love this
Canadian football right now, soccer, if you like. We have a double golden generation on both sides. Both the national teams are doing exceptionally well,
Yeah.
which is why it's such like a privilege being a Canadian fan now. Both
Yeah, no, you're
men,
right.
men and women, they're both great teams.
Yeah, and the women have been there for a long time now, and they
Man, Kennedy is like
Yeah.
he is solid tonight.
He's a
boys.
beast.
Yeah, and you're right. Like the women have been like this for a long time. It hasn't stopped. And honestly, a lot of people can look like Tom, as you said, your first exposure is pretty much the women's. A lot of Canada fans can look back and say, you know what, the women is what got me into it. I went to the Women's World Cup when it was in Canada, and I went to
That's sick.
one of the games in Montreal against the Netherlands, and that was one of the best crowds for any soccer game I've been to. Now, I've been to a couple in England, and different atmosphere, different kind of atmosphere, but it was definitely one of the best I've seen.
All I'm saying is all my homies who aren't even really soccer homies were watching the Canadian women at like win the gold cup or the Olympic gold medal. So
Mhm.
You know what
Women's
I mean?
Gold Cup is next year. First
Yeah, it's
time.
coming. It's
in
like you
February.
know what I mean? Like it definitely transcends to all sports fans when you have success, right?
Oh, of course. Like
Yeah.
everyone wants to see a winning team on the field, right? So, Jesus can't even watch the damn game on TSN or Sportsnet. Useless networks, bad for our game. You know what? It's been a problem for a couple years now, and that's TSN and Sportsnet's fault. I think the one thing we have to do is respect women's soccer for giving us a chance to watch something and giving us a product to go with it. They support the CPL. They support Canada's men and women's teams. We get to watch them. Yes, it sucks. It's just a subscription. It sucks. But you know what? These people stepped up when we had nothing. So I'm
Yep.
going to give my hat off to One Soccer. Danny, you're right. TSN and Sportsnet should have stood up. Unfortunately, they didn't. And they've been a hinder for us, denying games on TV as well. That might change now with the lawsuits coming in and out. But we'll see in the future if One Soccer can get onto the cable. But at the moment, yes, it sucks. 100% right, Danny.
Yeah.
One Soccer is the best thing since sliced bread.
Full count of soccer, 100%. And again, they gave us a home when we didn't have it. It sucks the way they do it, but at least they gave us something. When TSN and Sports us, we're denying everything.
It was a step when Sportsnet like rebroadcasted One Soccer's like broadcast for the qualifiers.
Yeah.
Important
yeah,
step, but
definitely.
not a good enough one.
Yeah. I convinced my teacher in school to let us watch the game. It worked. The one against Belgium in the World Cup. Hey, man, that teacher is an unsung hero if they let that go.
Okay.
He's a national
Here's the thing,
hero.
though. You convinced the teacher because on that day I left school early.
Did you? Dude.
Had to.
If
I
was
left
in
work early, actually. I left work early to see it.
I just got my new job at the time, so I couldn't leave. So I recorded it, came home, watched it that night, and thank God Davies missed that pen because the cops may have been called if he scored that pen. It was late at night when I watched that game. I do want to say though, if I was in school, I would never even shown up. I'm like, I'm not going in. My dad would have been like, 100%, you're staying home. Not a question. 2010 World Cup, I was in high school, and I missed some days because I was watching the games. 100%. I was late. I was late on the first day of school because I watched the South Africa France opener.
Man, have to.
Oh, David.
Yeah, bro, you just
That was
seen
close. It was a close one.
Just seen it.
But you know, it was.
Yeah, he had to finish that.
There was one teacher at our school always showed the World Cup games. We did not do work for a whole month.
That's beauty. I would love that teacher. I actually read one of my history teacher at high school was an English guy, so he's the type of guy who definitely will have done that. He's a Liverpool supporter. I think his name is Chambers. Shout out, no, it wasn't Chambers. I don't remember his fucking name. Doesn't matter. I demand 5-minute discussion about Scotland on why Scotland is massive.
I'm starting to think that Paulo Sport might be Paul McNulty.
It might be. Scotland is massive because they have the Loch Ness Monster, right? And that's one of the biggest mysteries in the world. Everyone knows of the Loch Ness Monster.
Scotland are massive because you can see they are 77,910 kilometers squared, which is pretty big.
Yep.
So I think the UK also the cost of living is pretty massive. So there you go.
It is. They were in the ring room watching the game.
The Scottish women national team won a pretty important game. I'm pretty sure
they were lying on the floor when
Davies
missed
I
the
think I
pen.
heard about that.
I nearly puked when we missed the pen. It didn't feel real. I was not a fan. I don't think anyone was a fan.
It was surreal thing. We got there. That's your welcome to the big leagues moment, I think.
Yeah, it definitely was. Jamal, to be fair, he was from Liverpool, so it makes sense why he was a Liverpool supporter. So as much as I am a Sunderland fan, I fucking hate Newcastle, but I'm not going to bash Newcastle fans for supporting Newcastle if they're from Newcastle. It makes sense.
Who's your championship rival for Sunderland?
Sunderland, Middlesbrough.
Are they north?
Yeah, they're both in the northeast.
No, okay.
Yeah, like Middlesbrough is like a 20-minute ride one way. Newcastle's a 20-minute ride the other. Type thing. If you guys don't know, Middlesbrough, they're known as Smoggies. And I went to have dinner in Middlesbrough one day, and I turned to someone I was with. I was like, "Holy shit! No wonder why they're called Smoggies. Their sky is literally just fucking smoke. It's fucking weird."
Man, I've heard that. Yeah.
Loch Ness is indeed one of the world's deepest lakes, and the monster is one of the most deepest souled beings alive.
Yeah, based on the size of the monster, I think so.
Here's another fun high school story. When I was in high school, I was in an anthropology class, and we had to for one of our projects we had to create a whole utopia, and me and my bud made a country based around the Loch Ness monster, and it was not Scotland.
That's amazing.
We based it around people who captured the Loch Ness monster, brought it back home, and made a whole utopia around the monster. His girlfriend did 90% of the work. You know what me and him did? We spent the whole time writing a national anthem, and we sung it before class. We said it before class, and we said, like, yeah, can everyone stand up for our national anthem? And they kind of just looked at us. We're like, no, we're serious.
Did you make the flag as well?
We did have a flag, but it's not like we had it on anything. We just had it like on a PowerPoint.
That's so good.
Oh,
yeah.
In
Chance here
1982,
for Honduras on the free kick.
in
There we
1982,
go,
CBC
foot
showed
in.
most World Cup games
Nice.
in Spain. Was a first on Canadian TV. I'm a gray hair. Hey, dude, so am I. I got gray hair, and I'm only 28. Okay, I feel ya.
I think this also, side note, I think this might be the first time Borion's kicked the ball. He's about to do a goal kick.
He is. Yeah, I
I
just saw that.
I seen him play a pass earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Good for him, dude.
I was,
Borian kills
I
me.
was waiting for him to shank it. I specifically remember.
Borian,
You know, because he
absolutely.
at least has at least one of those games.
So Borion's the captain today. When he
Yeah.
hands over the captain's armband, so if a goalie comes in, he hands over the armband. Does he also hand over the pants? Because I think you have to keep that mojo.
Right, yeah, just
He has to take the pants
armband
off
to
before-
Davies, sweatpants to Sinclair. Yeah, it's that's a fun shit. I like that. Everyone loves the whole sweatpants for Boria.
It's good luck.
definitely-
It's a staple.
Yeah, he's definitely like leaned
Canada's
into
goalie
it,
does a
too.
goal kick. Rare.
Yeah,
Man, it
especially
could
a
be
good one.
30, it could
It's a
be 30
good
degrees
goal.
Celsius and Borion will come out in sweatpants.
Unfortunately, he didn't do it in Qatar. We were all hoping. But like, dude, imagine at the start of the game, his pants are like a bright, a light gray, and at the end it's just black gray with the sweat. Oh, well, just imagine that.
Jeez.
You know where
Cowboys
the
is
sweat
goal
marks
kick.
would be too, right?
You know, the first
I
Canada
think that would
game I went to,
intimidate like Croatia so much they would have just forfeited.
Simon, do you remember Canada's keeper for the 2015 Gold Cup? Because I believe Borian was injured. It was Stapalopoulos.
Yeah, man. I remember. Oh, man.
dude, I remember-
Stapalopoulos. He
Because
was
that
like
was
one of the only goalies on FIFA for the longest time.
Wait, yeah, 'cause he played in
playing
Sweden,
like,
right?
Sweden, yeah.
Yeah, he played in Sweden. He was the goalie I was kind of like introduced to through Canada soccer, and I thought he was our number one, and I liked him. I was like, why is this guy not our number one?
Man, he has one of the best names in
Davies?
Canadian soccer, that's for sure.
They had a good chance for him too.
Also,
Can't remember the chance, but there was a good chance for him as well. It
Yeah,
was
it
basically
was like Stampalopoulos or something like that.
yeah, that was, and the chance was basically like your name's too long. We'll call you, like, you know, the Chelsea one for Asperagella. We'll
Yeah,
just
yeah,
call
yeah,
you
yeah.
Dave. We'll just
offside.
call you Dave. Asperagella. We'll just call you Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, he's offside?
Oh, I love these Canadian soccer
Yeah,
memories.
he's offside. Okay. Hey, don't only go get better, buddy. Only go and get better.
Yeah, I know. It's just so great to now look back on those times and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, well, how long do you think we have to wait to see a game go out east so you can see one live?
Oh man, you'd have to think that they play a friendly in Halifax within the next, like probably before the World Cup. Maybe I don't know.
are you guys
Like,
building a
like,
stadium?
I've had that thought for a while.
Yeah.
I
Halifax
don't even
is
know
building
if
a
they,
stadium. Yeah.
like, I don't even think they need. I would need a stadium to play a friendly at Wanderers grounds, but
Yeah,
they haven't approved one yet. No.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
The reason why it's called the kitchen is because it's made of kitchen appliances.
When I went
it's
to,
a kitchen party in the East Coast, baby.
When I went
Okay.
to I went to Newfoundland last summer for my vacation, and I tracked down the stadium where Canada qualified for the '85 World Cup.
Against
And
Honduras, I believe.
Sorry.
I think it was against Honduras, no?
Yeah. Yes, it was. And I went there, and like obviously nothing's going on, and I wanted to get into the stadium, and there's some guy walking around, so I went to the gates. I'm like, hey buddy, and he comes over. I was like, hey, can I come in and walk around? And he's like, and I went to go explain myself, like, hey, I'm a huge soccer fan. I wanted to just check it out. He's like, before I even got that out of my mouth, it's like, yeah, come on in. So he let me in, and I just walked like the whole field. I went to the corner flag where one of the goals was scored from.
Yes.
I went into the seats. I just literally walked around the field and everything. I'm like, This
That's
means
sick.
nothing to so many people, but this was like so cool for me. I was having
Oh
a
yeah,
day.
man, 100%.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Man, back to a game on the East Coast though. Like I just think since like literally statistically or just from an eye view, Halifax has the best fans in the league, like from an attendance record, and you know what
Hey,
I mean.
look,
So
I'm.
like I
I
feel like
have.
it's well deserved, and the fan base definitely. Even like a Canadian women's game, like a friendly
Yeah.
would be sick.
I've respected Halifax since day one for their crowds, and it just proves. It really does prove. You target the smaller places in Canada that don't have professional sports teams, they're going to do well. I think Halifax is the prime
Yeah.
example of it. They don't have a real professional sports team until Halifax Wanderers. You put them in there, they sell out every game. Sure, it's only 6,000 stadium, but they average the highest attendance in the league, day in, day out. And you don't really see a downfall until the end of the season if they're not making the playoffs. But
Exactly.
I will always support putting a team in, Fredericton or Moncton or St. John's or St. John, one of the two. Forget which province they're in, but we need a good Acadia Derby, Maritime Derby, Atlantic Derby.
Oh, I can't wait. But I know it's going to come eventually. I know it's going to come soon. I just hope it happens sooner than later because it's going to be great. And I think Newfoundland, I think Fredericton, I think those are two great places to consider. Does anyone know the Canadian Cody Crepeau is doing health-wise? Is he injury-free? He's still injured. It was like a
gruesome leg injury in MLS Cup, which was right before the World Cup.
Yeah, it was.
So and he's not playing now, so I'd imagine it's probably going to be a month or two.
From my understanding, Crepeau's leg injury was almost like a clean break in the bone.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a reason why they didn't show it on the replay.
Yeah, exactly. It was gruesome. And I did see it somewhere. It wasn't live, but I saw the replay of it somewhere. And holy shit, it made me want to puke. It was bad.
I seen
and I think we did the sound from the TV
video of the
it was bad. So Crepeau, he's still recovering. I think he's expected back halfway through this season. I think that's what his timeline is.
What a tackle!
Good ball.
I think it is like halfway through the season. We could expect to see Crepeau
Michael,
back
watch
for
that
LA.
tackle from Conan.
Davies.
That was great. That was like
sweet, man.
That's some shit I tried to pull in
that
gym
was
class.
That was like one of those hockey moves.
It was. Put the leg down. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, brother. But I knew it was just coming right up for you.
No, that was good. You timed it well because literally I looked at the screen and it was coming.
Oh yeah, boys, it's been a good game so far for sure.
It's what we hope for. It's what we expect, right? I mean, we're a team that should be winning. And again, Honduras, I'm never going like, again, we could be 10 miles ahead of Honduras. I'm going to be like, they're going to beat us. They can beat us.
I know. I was about to say, like, I'm always so cautiously optimistic going into games. Is it like,
well, like Simon, you would remember from the time in like 2015 or so, even beforehand, you could be sitting there watching a game against El Salvador, Trinidad and Tobago, Honduras, and you'd be like, we're Canada. We'll beat these guys, but we don't, and we won't.
Yeah,
and
it was never a guarantee. It was never a guarantee, so that's why it feels weird now going into a game like absolutely guaranteeing a win. But I definitely felt like this win coming for sure tonight. Well, we still have 50 minutes left of the game, but I mean, real good start. I mean, nothing to show for Honduras really at all, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, no, they've just given the ball away a ton. Oh, there.
Oh, tight one there.
Thanks for the info. Hey, buddy, it's why we're here. Make sure to check us out on the FC13 Podcast on Spotify.
Yeah, we cover all different sorts, like from Canadian to Concacaf, like to Europe,
South America to the Arctic Ocean. We're covering all of it.
Dude, honestly, we're Canadian Soccer Podcast.
Might as well get an Asian Federation show kicking off here soon.
Yeah.
We'll get it going. We're a Canadian Soccer Podcast. We follow everything from the CPL, MLS, League One Canada to the Canadian men and women's team. Check us out on Spotify. We do have a little bit of content on YouTube, but we focus more on the podcast side. YouTube work, it is coming. We're working on it behind the scenes. YouTube will grow this year, I promise.
And more live streams, like live watch-alongs.
Yeah. Hey,
we know you guys like it as well. The live streams, we have fun, and we know you guys like it.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
last
like, this
podcast
is-
we did really well, guys. Thank you so much for all that as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Thanks. If you're here from the last watch.
Whoa,
along,
jeez,
yeah,
Buchanan got
yeah.
absolutely
massive thank
pummeled.
you. Yeah, Buchanan just took an elbow to the head there.
Oh, lovely. Right here, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Are you gonna call anything for that?
No,
Oh,
he's up,
no, Thomas.
Oh my God!
So close.
Handball?
Good control right there.
Oh,
That call-
boys.
The call on Buchanan, I just saw live.
Michael.
He never called anything there.
Oh, are we gonna get a penalty?
Oh, that's a handball.
I think it's a handball.
That's a handball.
Yeah.
Cody
And
just
great control
Yeah, he
here
pointed.
from Kone.
We got a punt. He
We
pointed.
got a penalty.
Let's go.
We got a penalty.
That
Let's
Davies
go.
dribble to the
Give it
pass
to Larry.
Laren,
Dude, if they
Tony
give
to
this
flick it
pen,
off his chest.
Hat trick, first half hat trick.
imagine.
okay.
Imagine they give this pen to
Man, they
Davies.
have
Just
to.
imagine.
Yeah, it has to be that.
Messi got a first half
Hey,
hat trick
Thomas.
against Curacao. Honduras is higher ranked than Curacao, so
Michael,
therefore, if
don't-
Laren
Michael,
gets a
don't
hat
look
trick
at us.
in the first half, he's better than Messi.
Don't look at you. I'm going to have to mute you guys.
Yeah, mute us.
I don't know how. Hold up. I have to mute you guys actually through the podcast. I can't do that to the fans.
Okay, no, I can't do that. You can't turn your computer volume down?
Oh, wait.
I could just mute myself.
I
Or your
can't hear
head.
you, but you can hear me, bitches.
He's doing keep
All right.
ups.
Okay, we're good, boys. We're good though. Like, they're still.
I'll turn my mic up when I see
I'll do this
what
all the time.
happens. But obviously a true testament of how far I am behind.
Boys. Boys. This would
Well,
be
that was like
massive.
devastating, isn't it? I mean, you guys could
This
be
is
way ahead of me.
sending
You guys could
this
see what
goal-
happened already.
I think it is
Hutchinson
Laren.
in his hand.
Yeah, nothing's happened yet. They're still standing
No,
around.
nothing.
I don't know if you can hear me, Michael, but Thomas, this is about to send us through against Panama.
To
or
be fair,
Costa
Davies
Rica.
did score against Honduras in a pen in the World Cup qualifier. Just to be fair.
Laren, I
In
think, might be
Vancouver.
top or like second
Oh,
or
it's
third in
Laren.
League
Let's
A
go.
in
Come on,
goals
Laren.
now.
First half, Hattie. Let's go, buddy.
Yeah, he might be. It was Jesus Ferreira with 4.
Yeah, I think it might be Pappy knows.
Oh my God, boys.
Shoot.
There it is.
What?
How do you completely miss? No, I can't say
Oh my
anything.
god.
What in the
I
world?
missed my high school soccer
What the fuck?
playoff game. I missed a penalty just like that. I can't say shit.
Oh, that is. Keeper gets right. He probably would have got it, but
There was no power. There was no power.
you have to hit it on target
Yeah, at least put it on net. But like I said,
as
I
a
literally-
professional footballer.
I did the same thing, boys. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
you-
I'm not a professional. That just gives me flashbacks to. Yeah, I had a penalty. I had a penalty in the playoffs of my high school soccer division, and yeah, I missed the pen just like that. Just
Oh.
had another non-flashback twice in the one stream.
Davies, your back pens, buddy. I mean, hey, this
Does
actually
no one
makes you-
believe in Jonathan David, who takes penalties for his team?
Hey, I mean, I was about to say, so does Vittoria. but
yeah.
he's not playing.
David should definitely
For
be.
fuck's sakes, yeah, 100%.
Boy.
I mean,
Exactly.
hey,
that is the
I mean,
emotion right now.
Laren had to take it. Laren had to take it.
I'm
Well,
an England
of course
fan.
he had. Oh, so does the team
Oh,
still decide on field who
chance.
takes the penalties? Because that would make sense.
It
if they
depends.
pick right.
It depends from team to team.
Well, it looked like Laren
Hmm.
and Davies are kind of talking about it, but obviously,
Yeah.
you know, on the Hattie, you have
Fuck.
to.
No, it depends team to team. Some coaches will dictate. Some players will leave it among the players. You never
Yeah,
know.
that's true. That's
Um,
true.
Because Herdman left it to the players in the World Cup. which was what I
clearly. Look, I'm an England fan. I hate pens for a reason, and apparently that's going to
Yep.
trickle into my Canadian fandom as well. We don't score pens. You know who
It's,
the
a,
last
it's a
person I remember?
TFC thing too, like at BMO Field.
Yeah, Davies
You're
did
not
score
wrong.
against Honduras on a pen in Vancouver World Cup qualifiers, but no, it wasn't Honduras in Vancouver. Where the fuck was it?
I think Toronto.
No, because it would have been away.
Oh,
Orion with his first little.
Maybe it wasn't
match.
Honduras. Maybe it was against someone else. It was
Thomas,
Panama
you
in
know how you
Vancouver.
asked if that was the first
Yes.
time Orion kicked the ball? I think that was the first time he actually picked the ball up.
all right.
Yeah, so
We're
Davies
keeping
scored against
track of the stats.
Panama. Davies scored against Panama in Vancouver on a pen. Before that, the last time I remember Canadians scoring a pen, and I could be wrong, it's just the last time I remember, was Cavallini against Dominican Republic. Okay? According to Charlie O'Connor, Clark, Davies exchanged animated words with Herdman after the pen awarded. I love it. Hey, Herd, you want me? No? Okay, not me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, fuck's sake. I mean, hey, we got a 2-0 lead. Let's hope Honduras doesn't find energy in that miss, because it's not like the goalie saved it. He missed the shot.
Yeah,
maybe
that
that takes
could
some
give them even less
power away.
confidence. We're
Exactly.
not trying. Yeah, guys, we're not actually trying at all. This is just how we play usually.
Because if that hits the keeper, Honduras could be like, "Come on, let's go, we're in this."
Yeah.
But you missed the net.
It's almost like an insult.
Feeling. Yeah, a
that
little
we
bit of a
missed
different
it.
feeling.
Oh,
maybe.
Alien.
Yeah, I'm not ruling out a ball over the top to one of the pacey Honduran attackers with their only chance of the game.
Oh, that was
It's kind of a weird play by Eustachio. I thought he was stopping the play.
So let's say, okay, question for you guys. Let's say let's say Canada continue to have 2-0. At what points could we feel safe if we want to cap some players? How many goals do we need? Or what minute?
3-0, 75th minute. That's 3-0.
75, 3-0, we can feel
I'm
safe?
saying, yeah, pretty much the same, I guess.
Okay.
Like 3-0, like I'd go like the 60th minute, honestly.
Like for Hebert, I think like 65th. But if we want the CanPL guys, then 75th.
Well, I think it depends. Like if we have an injury on the back end, I think we could feel safe about Hebert.
If there's a break for Honduras, Kennedy.
I don't feel safe at all if there's an injury on the back end.
No,
not for the future.
But I'm talking about like you never know, right? Sometimes it happens. There's a break for Honduras, and
good block.
Good job at Kennedy.
Man, Kennedy's been my best defender tonight. For sure.
Yeah, and you're right.
He's a player of the window.
Yeah, no, I like to see it.
He's breaking up every single play that comes his way.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't look like he's missed a beat, even though he's not playing that much.
Adriano says 4-0 to feel safe before we bring in the players who aren't capped.
That's not going to happen.
Hey, you never know. We got too early. We could get too early.
I was thinking 3 or 4 for sure. Like,
yeah, I mean, look, you have to
4, absolutely. 4, no doubt. You start bringing on players.
Yeah, I think you maybe just do like all the subs at once.
Man,
yeah, I mean,
it's not
5 on, 5 off.
Like this is a surprise 2-0 lead the way we're playing right now either. Like we're clearly
give me Latorre, you cowards.
Yes.
Ooh, Latorre. I mean, I think
I love Latorre.
I like Latorre as well. I'm not that against them. I would prefer to see someone like Sitar get in this game over Latorre because I think Latorre's younger. He has more time. Whereas Sitar, it's kind of like this. His time is now. It really.
The thing is, though, is that Latorre could also go with South Sudan, where his brother William Mcrew plays. So
this is true. And
capping him before them.
And if you missed it, Akio played 180 minutes for South Sudan this window, and they won one of their games. So
so that's why you got to cap him with us.
No, that's what I'm
saying. Make Akio just. Is that on? Okay.
No, I was agreeing with you, Thomas. That's a good point on why we should cap him.
Yeah. And I guess the same can be said for McGill, because I think he's still national with England, right?
Make a goalkeeper change mid-game, but like it would be nice.
I don't want to, but we could.
Hold up. The only way I would do it is in stoppage time, and we still have a 2-0 lead.
You
cap McGill.
Yeah, that would be so insulting. He'd get a visa or not a visa. He'd get citizenship with some random other country. So he felt too insulted by John Herdman.
No, and McGill was a questionable pick. I personally would brought John Garcia to this window. But McGill's a good one because he's with Brighton Hove Albion. He's on the under-22 roster in the Premier League 2. So you have to think, if this guy succeeds, he could be a Premier League player. So you would want to cap him just in case. And you can look at this in Canada past. If you guys remember, I don't know, Thomas, if you would, but Simon, if you remember, it was the Gold Cup. I think it was Gold Cup qualifier. We had Balou Tabla come in, and he played one game for Canada so far in his career, and he was capped against Jamaica or Dominican Republic, 1-2. And do you remember who the goalie was who started that game? Here's a hint. It's the only cap he has with Canada.
Oh my
Carducci.
God.
No.
Okay, now I'm gonna be sitting here for a while. Just give it to me.
So at the time, he was playing with the Juventus under 20 squad. His name was,
Is it was it Boosty?
Yeah. So basically, this kid was supposed to be the next big thing. So Canada's like, get him in, we'll cap him, because he could obviously also went to Italy. And then like a year or two after that, no Canada call-ups. He left the Juventus system and went to like 7th division Spain or some shit like that.
Jesus.
Like he just didn't pan out. But it's very similar to Tabla.
Yeah.
Let Tabla come in, get capped, and that hasn't happened either.
Okay,
That's
but
true.
Tabla,
That's true.
you're an Ottawa fan. You should very much appreciate Tabla. Also, he scored
fucking
recently
love
in
Tabla.
Turkey.
He did, and he has an assist as well.
Mm-hmm. He's not doing too bad for himself.
So actually, I can't say off the record, but I can say rumors have told me somebody who personally knows Tabla, who told somebody else who I know, Tabla tried to fight the transfer. He did not want to go to Turkey from what I'm hearing. He wanted to stay in Ottawa. I don't know how true this is. This is what came to me through a third-party source. Tabla apparently did not want to go to Turkey.
But doesn't the player get a say?
Yes and no, because if the team is coming offering money and Ottawa's like, we're taking the money, bud, like you can deny it, but we're still selling you. So now it's their problem.
It's an Atletico Madrid they have all the money in the world.
Hey, doesn't mean they're not looking at Ottawa as a fucking system for money either. Like, that doesn't mean that. 3 Honduran Latinos, hot-blooded. They score one. Who knows when they stop? For me, subs after 80th minute or at 4-0.
The thing is, though,
like lower class subs. They're not lower class, but like these guys that we're talking about, these younger, inexperienced players.
Yeah,
that is really we can disregarding the subs.
We could bring on Larea in 70th minute, and no one's going to say anything. You bring on Latori, 65 minutes in, maybe you're questioning it.
Yeah.
You bring McGill, 53rd minute, everyone's up in arms.
Oh man.
Oh,
yeah,
is
boys,
Sam Adekugbe's in the squad, right? Because he hasn't played like at all.
That's true. Adekugbe has not been played yet.
I would love to see Adekugbe play.
Great first half, boys.
I think especially if we're like up and then we want to play, switch to more defensive. If we got brought in Adekugbe and Zator Larea, then
I think it's possible. I mean, I always question why bring a player to a squad if you're not going to even look at using them. And then, hey, you know what? Being at the camp could be a lot of learning experience, especially for someone like Latori. But like I said, Cesar's an older guy. He wants to get the minutes. It's why he went to Poland. Maybe we see it later on. Maybe we do. But at the moment, yeah, because I remember when we started to bring players like David Witherspoon over. There's another one that maybe it was Liam Miller, and they weren't getting played. And I had to sit there and think, you guys are interrupting their European campaign. Bring them all the way to Concacaf to play teams like Suriname, and you're not playing them. That's got to be someone who's going to be like, why would I go to play for Canada? I'm not even going to be playing. That's a long flight there and back, not being used. I truly believe you got to use the players you bring in. Oh, guys, we have a very special guest entering the zone. Well, he's not a guest. He is a holy shit, sorry, Paul, you're not being fired. Here you go.
the absolute disrespect.
Oh, no,
I do not know what to say.
Paul, I'm just saying, right off the bat, you said you were at work.
Yeah,
he got the fuck home quick.
I work with kids, and it's spring break now, so we don't have that many kids in at the moment. So when that's the case, like we can leave early if it's quiet because we have other people on as well anyway. So don't worry. Like my boss is watching. This is fine. It's allowed.
Yeah, because you were also very frequently in the comments or in the chat.
Yeah, I was keeping everything ticking together.
Yeah, I'll keep it alive.
Yeah,
spicy.
Watching you guys over my Gareth Wheeler commentary.
How are we doing?
And what's Gareth Wheeler got to say tonight?
He has not used an "Oh Canada, oh baby" so far as I'm aware. Unless I missed it, We have not had any "Oh Canada, oh babies."
So is it really Gareth Wheeler? Is it a doppelganger?
Yeah, that's true. If there's a Gareth Wheeler on commentary and it doesn't say "Oh Canada, oh baby," is it really a Gareth Wheeler?
Hey, call me pathetic, but I love the whole Canada, oh baby. I'm sorry.
I love it.
I do love
It's
it.
our thing.
It gave me
admit the
chills. It
it's-
gave me chills. Like the
As long
first
as it doesn't-
time.
As long as it doesn't overuse it.
Thank you.
Like,
Well,
maybe
this is the
those-
thing, because his Twitter profile pic is someone with a sign that says "Oh Canada, oh baby."
Mhm.
Like, he
Again, I
definitely
actually
lives
love it.
for it.
It's
He
a
lives for
staple.
it.
It is now a staple in Canada soccer history. If you love it or hate it, and I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's true.
When we qualified for the World Cup, I went on my Facebook, "Oh Canada, oh baby," because you knew it.
You
It's
guys
got
want
to
some
be
half-
said.
You guys want to do like a wee quiz for some halftime entertainment?
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah, let's go.
I've got a,
Well,
I've got a
boys,
World- I've got a
before we
World Cup
start,
one.
before we start that, I'm glad you came, Paul, because it's getting late out here on the East Coast. So, boys, I'm gonna call it a night on the stream. I'm glad Canada's up, so I can hopefully continue to go to bed happily tonight. I'll watch the game from bed, but I'm done presenting tonight. Hope everyone watching
It's
has a great
very
night.
It's a very
Yeah.
common sense
Wherever you
substitution. This.
are.
I live in the opposite coast of Simon.
And I'm
yeah,
in the
exactly.
middle.
We're literally switching off coaches.
Yeah, me and Michael are right smack dab in the middle where the timing is always perfect.
Yeah. And that's there's
Okay,
out
boys.
west, and it's a 10:30.
Have a good one,
start,
Simon.
Bye,
Yeah,
Simon.
yeah. You guys have a good rest
Have
of
a
your
good night.
night.
Thank you, Simon.
Peace out.
And for you,
So-
those who don't know, Simon went to go order tickets off SeatGeek.
Did he really?
He did. Because he
Well,
gets
this sounds like a good
$20
story. So
He gets $20 off his first purchase of SeatGeek if you use the code FC13 Pod. Oh my god.
oh my god, jeez. You know, a lot of companies claim to have deal of the century. Well, this is a deal of the century. How about if Black Friday was this Friday? You can get
Ooh.
tickets to any concert, sporting event, and get a really good deal. So next time Canada screws us over with the ticket prices, thank us for making it cheaper.
You guys are better than this, and I probably should be. So yeah, I've got like a quick wee World Cup 2022 quiz. Thought we could go
Ooh.
back over that again and see who remembers the World Cup the best. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yes,
I
sir.
love the World Cup. My expectations are so high for myself.
Yeah, I honestly I think I know who might win this. I'm sorry, Michael.
That's all right. That's all right.
Quick. Which club had 3 players starting in the World Cup final? Oh, Thomas, do you know off the bat?
Was
Wait,
it?
what? What's the question?
So yeah, I should. So I didn't think this through. So yeah, Thomas, you go first, and then Michael, you have the next question, sort of thing.
Okay.
So the
Was
first
it Bayern Munich?
I was going to say there's options. Atletico Madrid, PSG, Real Madrid, or Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay, I was completely off. Okay, Michael, you get this.
What was the question again? Which club had 3 players in this final game?
Starting in the World Cup final, Atletico Madrid, PSG, Real Madrid, or Spurs.
PSG.
And you, Thomas, you sure you don't want to take a guess?
Atletico. Is-
Okay.
Griezmann and some Argentinian guy. Then I thought it was another French.
Well, I mean,
it was
we had-
it was Atletico, yeah. So it was Molina, De Paul, and Griezmann.
Okay.
Good job. So Thomas takes the first one. Which of these players did not score a goal in the knockout stages? So Michael, you get to go first.
Yeah.
Did not score a goal in the knockout stages. Denzel Dumfries, Jordan Henderson, Pepe, or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Thomas?
Ronaldo.
That one was far too easy, man.
Well, because I know you hate Ronaldo, so of course you're going to throw that in there.
Hold on, Michael. Do you like Ronaldo?
I have nothing against him, honestly.
I don't have anything against him, but like Ronaldo or Messi.
Ooh, see, I said this on the podcast around the World Cup. I said I personally don't get so invested in the argument like other soccer fans do. I respect both for what they do. If I had to choose one over the other for my club, I'd probably go Messi, but I have respect for Ronaldo.
I'd like it to go on record that
Thank
it's
you,
not
Adriano. With CR. Let's go. Adriano, I want to know, who do you support club-wise? I want to know this.
I would
He's
like
got
it
the
to go
fleur
on-
de lis as his profile picture. So I'm thinking it's going to be
A
the
French-
impact.
It could be a French club. Oh,
I would like it to go on record that I don't
Yours just says
hate
Messi.
Ronaldo. It's Neymar I hate.
Really?
I do not like Neymar. I think he's one of the most
Question-
overrated players in the world. Come at me.
Question 3. In which stage of the tournament were Argentina not given a penalty? So, Thomas, you go first.
The
last 16
qualifiers.
Last 16,
The
quarterfinals,
qualifiers.
semi-finals, or the final. Shootouts don't count.
This is like the hardest question I could have possibly had. I think quarterfinals against Netherlands.
All right, Michael.
Yeah, that's my answer as well.
So remember, penalty shootouts don't count. The correct answer was the last 16.
Really? I could have sworn they had one against Australia.
I remember they definitely got
Oh,
one
fuck yeah.
against
No,
the
you're
Netherlands.
that's my you're
To
right.
make it 2-0. Michael, who was the only player to score 2 goals in 2 different games? So they had 2 braces. Lionel Messi,
oh.
Gonzalo Ramos, Kylian Mbappe, or Olivier Giroud?
I thought I knew this, but that's not who I was thinking of.
Messi, Ramos, Mbappe, Giroud.
Mbappe?
Thomas?
And tentatively Mbappe.
It was Mbappe.
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Scored twice
Honestly,
against Poland
when-
and then a hat-trick in the final.
When you
Because when
told me that, the first person that came to mind was Depay, and I was like, he scored for Netherlands in that fashion, did he not? But I guess not.
When you said them, I was thinking Mbappe, but then you said Giroud, and then I thought,
I'm going to
he
say
scored
I
actually
straight
quite a
up
bit.
thought the answer would have been Messi without thinking about it. Like
That's
I just,
obvious.
I assume, yeah. I mean, so is Mbappe, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, Thomas. Who scored Qatar's only goal in the World Cup? Akram Afif, Almoiz Ali, Asim Madibo, or Mohamed Montari? Apologies for the pronunciation there.
It's Afif. He's the winger number 10, right?
Michael?
I was not going to say him, but Thomas said that with so much confidence. I'm going with Afif.
Keep in mind he's winning, so you got to steal a point off him.
Well, keep in mind, he still said it with confidence, so I'm going for it.
Okay.
I could be completely throwing you off
Yeah,
here.
Michael,
you know?
you should have gone for Montari.
Oh, fucking hell. Hey,
You
John, welcome to the pod. Well, the live stream. Thank you for joining. Are you not at the game with Andre? What's going on, John? What's
You
going
gotta
on?
believe, Michael. You gotta believe.
Hey,
Okay.
build it and they will come. That's the York's method, right?
Michael, how many yellow cards did England receive in total in their 5 matches at the tournament? None, 1, 4, or 6?
I know they did very well at this. I want to say 1.
Wait, what was the question?
How many yellow cards did England get in total in all of their World Cup games combined? 0, 1, 4, or 6?
I think they got. Well, they won the Fair Play Award, so I think 1.
Michael, what did you say again? Sorry.
I said 1 as well.
Okay, so the correct answer is indeed 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, kickoff's just about to start, so we'll make this the last question. If Thomas gets it wrong and Michael gets it, then we will have to have a decider. But like, barring that, this will be the last one. So that means Thomas goes first, so Michael has a chance to
Adriano,
steal.
you're right.
Yeah, he is right. Like, that was a great performance in the finale. Adriano's right. We agree with you.
Oh, for sure. Who is the youngest manager in Qatar? Aliou Cisse, Walid Regragui, Lionel Scaloni, or Gareth Southgate? The Senegal manager, the Morocco manager, the Argentina manager, or the England manager?
I think it's Scaloni.
So
Michael?
before you gave me the answers, I already thought Southgate, so I'm going to stick with Southgate.
Scaloni.
Okay.
Yes.
So Thomas takes that one pretty handedly.
Oh, I was by 2. Relax.
Out of 7.
Oh, and Adriano knew that one as well, Scaloni.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be because the Senegal manager, he played for them in 2002, so I figured he might have just been like in his 40s.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
would've-
It's
I would've
been
guessed it would've been
20
him
years
off the top
since
of my head.
2002.
Yeah, so like, I figured, assuming he played that game in his like early 20s, he couldn't be that much old.
Thomas
But
would know
Scaloni's
this
in his
because in 2002, Thomas was -7, so he
Yeah.
would know this.
See, there's the real trivia.
I will
He's
be back.
38 years old. Adriano thinks so.
I am sticking
Yeah.
around. I just need to go and grab a charger.
Have fun, buddy. We'll be here.
You guys can admire my back wall.
Yeah.
It's time for a wall review with Michael and
wall.
Thomas.
All right, what's he got on there? He's
I think some shoes.
He has some shoes on the door. Never seen that before. Not my personal
Yeah,
choice.
it's a bit strange. Usually
Yeah.
shoes belong on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground.
You know, like your
usually.
feet.
We got
I
a
think-
lamp. Oh, a monitor in the background, and he's not doing a dual monitor system here. That's a little bit different.
That's interesting. You have
That
a
is interesting,
FC13 podcast wallpaper in the background. I think I see some medals too, or
Uh,
something on the right.
Very professional setup we got going here.
Scroney, and he came on shortly after a firing, hired in September. So Scroney was hired in September and made it to the World Cup as the youngest manager. Good for him.
Okay, so we're
Close
back.
for Davies,
We're
but cross
back
on the
on.
ground.
What are you guys at? I have the second half just starting. I'm at
Yeah,
the
I'm
46
on.
minute.
I'm at
I just hit the 46 minute.
Yeah, I'm at 46-20 right now.
You're slightly ahead, but like we'll cross that bridge when it comes if any goals are still going.
Hey, have
Yeah.
you watched the pod? I just don't look at them, especially.
Oh,
next
that's
to
a
the
great ball,
bed.
Coney. For Coney there. Davies, you got all the time in the world. Good cross in though.
Win
That
World
happened a
Cup
while
in
ago for me.
December, Yeah.
It's weird that they chose to play towards an empty stand in the second half, but
It is what it is. Hey, they got the 2 goals in the
Okay.
first half. It worked out.
Why did they build or not? Like, there's a temporary stand, but no one's there.
That's
It's
for
very-
the TFC games, no?
it has to be. Yeah, it's probably just
Yeah.
easier to keep it up. Like that's probably going to be the first thing to go in terms of the 2026 renovations.
Or is
Yeah,
it the
no,
biggest
sure.
dilemma since the suits? The temporary seating, which still just gets me angry every time I think about it.
There it is.
It's such a weird. It is a bit of a weird look, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
bad
kind of
look.
like- People's
It's not
getting, like,
weird,
the
it's bad.
People's like the de facto national stadium, I guess, in Canada.
like I've been
The
saying,
National Soccer Stadium.
I've been to BMO for a few Canada games, and I've seen them do decently well ticket-wise for a lot of random games, and this is just disappointing, but it's not the fans' fault. This is 100% on the CSA.
Honestly, I don't know if this is like the wrong type of approach to this, but like when I seen the crowd, it was fairly big, and my first reaction was, oh, damn it.
Slammy needs another goal
Just-
so he can go to bed. You hear that, Canada?
In the
Right.
context of
Come
like
on.
it justify if you have like a decent crowd there, it kind of justifies the ticket price, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, obviously
But
it's
it
not
doesn't.
full, but like I kind of again maybe
The
like this
one
is-
end did very well, but that's the hardcore fans, right? That's the supporters who are at every game. They're going to sell out that end.
Yeah, listen, maybe it's a hot take or not, but I would actually prefer to see the stadium a little more empty tonight.
And you would, I get what you're saying.
Weird.
Hey, a lot of people who bring kids to this game back down. They're like, hey, I'm going by myself. I'm not bringing my kids, spending 150 tickets on each fucking child. I don't blame them.
At a
I mean, if you know
game
where to look, you
at
can get it
like
cheaper.
what, 8 o'clock? No
It's an 8
way.
o'clock start. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock start as well. Yeah. And it's still cold.
Yeah.
It's
Let's
not
not forget,
exactly warm.
Boryon's pants are on. So
Yeah, I'm under the impression that it's basically still
Weather
winter
report.
in that part of Canada.
Nice hot take, Paul. Thank you, Simon, for your comments on Nice Paul's hot take. That's
yeah,
good.
Paul's hot
I mean,
take
at least it's not, at
showing
least it's
how
not-
much enthusiasm he has
Well, I mean,
for
look at all the-
Canada.
When you look at Toronto Maple Leafs, for example, was it like $200+ for tickets for one of their games?
can't
But
be,
like the
yeah.
stadium's always full, so like it kind of justifies it, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, no,
MLSE can
exactly.
turn around and say, "See, it's still full." Like,
Possession 66% in Canada's favor. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we expect. I mean, Larrett, get in! Jonathan David, baby.
The Iceman.
Let's go.
3-0, only 5 more to go. Only 5 more goals to go, boys.
We want
Yeah.
Tatar. I hold it, Dario. I hold it, Dario. I hold it, Dario. We want Tatar.
Bit of a, I wouldn't say messy goal, but like it just kind of like pinball.
Good
the
night,
box, if you
Simon.
know what I mean.
Good night.
Yeah.
Maybe he said that too early. If I was him, I'd be like, "Oh, I meant to say 4."
Yeah, I meant to say 4. Convincing his girlfriend, no, we need one more before I go to bed. Can't jinx it. We can't jinx it.
I cannot lose sleep over this team.
8-1. Yes, we want 8. As Jamal was saying, we want 8.
Yeah,
We
look,
want 8.
give me 8 or give me death.
Give me. Did we really win if we don't win by 8? I don't know.
At some point, there's going to be a day where if we get, blow out Honduras, if we don't get to 8, I'll just rewatch the match so we can get to 8.
It's definitely going to be in like January or something, right? Like it's going to it's going to be a Canada home game.
It's going to be when Canada and FIFA pull off the corrupt double and have a Canada World Cup, but it's in December.
I was saying this on the podcast this week. The last podcast we recorded, I was saying this on the podcast. I was saying,
oh, that's a terrible kick out.
Something feels special. I was saying, so this feels special when we see Larry and David score in the same game. They're both still so young. They're both absolutely dominating the goal record for Canada. I just feel so good with seeing those guys score every game for Canada. We have Larry with 2. David gets another one. I don't know, and they're both doing so well in club.
Derbies is supplying the crosses too.
Yeah, it's fucking special and it feels good. It does.
I would say like they create an unorthodox situation, if you know what I mean, because most teams they typically play with one up top now these days, but like you simply can't leave either of them out. They're both just too good.
Oh.
Well, Paul, David.
Paul, before you joined the live stream, you asked us who would you go with for up front. I went with Laren. Who would you choose?
The heart says Laren, but I think the head would say David. Purely like nothing to do with Laren. I think it's purely because David's used to
the cobber,
yeah, it's like as good as Laren is. I think if we're being honest with ourselves, like David will be the better player if they're as good as each other right now.
But
David will be the better player.
I agree with you in club.
I was about to say,
at the end of the day, if Laren shows up more for country, he may go down different when it comes to Canadian history.
I was going to say, like, at the same time, like, I remember thinking the same during the World Cup. Like, if you can only start one of the two, I'd want to start David because I think he'd be the one more clinical. And we've seen in the World Cup, they kind of struggled in that sort of lone strike. He would struggle more as a lone striker, or like he just couldn't get himself more involved.
Yeah.
Laren obviously wasn't as active either, but I don't think he had much of a chance. But mind you, he did play like an underrated role in Davies' goal against Croatia, creating space.
Whistle the play down.
See, with me...
Oh, good.
Oof, listening nothing much anyway. That's kind of summed up Honduras' night.
With me, when it came to oh shit! And now I see why Thomas was like, "What the fuck?" When it comes fuck, now I lost my train of thought.
When it comes to playing for Canada,
when it comes to the World Cup qualifiers, Laren scored 2 big goals against Mexico, and I don't think he got enough recognition for those. Like after those 2 big goals against Mexico, a lot of people still were like, "Oh, Jonathan David's our guy. He's our go-to." I'm like, Laren just scored against Mexico. It doesn't
He's
get
the
any
leading
bigger.
all-time scorer for the country.
It doesn't get any bigger in CONCACAF than scoring against these 2 teams in Mexico and the U.S. And you got 2 against Mexico. Like, I don't know, not to take away anything from David, but when it comes to club, I just feel more comfortable with Laren. And I'm sorry, when it comes to country, I feel a little bit more comfortable with Laren. And that's just
whose goal against Mexico was really unheralded or not celebrated? It was at the Azteca when Osorio tied it at 1-1, and we went out of there with a draw.
Not talking about enough, you're right. Because
loads of room and space there for David's got a good ball. Oh, that's way overhit that, but Cannon has loads of space there.
That is probably one of the biggest goals in Canada history, one of the biggest results in Canada soccer history, and it's not talked about enough, you're right. 100%. Because
it's just a draw. People see it as a draw.
If you remember Mexico's stats after that game, they've only lost like 4 games of World Cup qualifiers or something in that stadium. It's something like stupidly low. And draws was like 12. And Canada became one of them, and they've won the rest. So
I think part of it is like, her ball out 100. That's the second one in such a short space of time.
I like that.
Simple ball there.
Aftab is keeping the Argentina Curacao game on.
We appreciate it. You guys seen that?
Yeah, Jesus.
I think that you guys seen that like Curacao football news Twitter account.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor guy right now. That poor guy.
What was that?
It's so sad because he gets like he gets roasted by no context Canada MNT account and stuff.
What was it though? Sorry, Paul. I missed what you said there.
It's basically just like some guy sort of masquerading as like the Curacao like football Twitter account.
Okay.
San Marino of the same thing.
Yeah, because we all want to be like San Marino, don't we?
Oh, it would be a fun job being the San Marino Twitter admin, though.
Oh, Jamal just found it on Twitter. All right, good shit. I'd love to work for San Marino. Those guys are awesome. The fact that you guys show up to every rental with just a slight hope you'll get a draw, good for you guys.
Yeah, I'll show you a couple of tweets. So like this latest tweet just there, 87th minute. Please blow the whistle. Argentina 7, Curacao 0.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about it on the podcast last week. How do you agree to this matchup for Curacao and Argentina? Like, where, in what mind do you be like?
Because
yeah,
I think Canada Soccer just make this shit look a lot more harder than it actually is.
Maybe. Oh, maybe that's it.
Like Argentina just played Panama as well. Like the idea that it's impossible for Canada to get friendlies is asinine to me.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to be very interesting to see once Nations League and Gold Cup is done. It's going to be very interesting to see what type of friendlies we get coming to us.
I will say, like, I'm willing to accept that, like, they might not be played in Canada.
We have to come to terms that not every game is going to be played in Canada. We have to come to those terms.
Mm-hmm. Like how the fixtures last September against Uruguay and Qatar were in Central Europe. Like
Austria.
I think I think we can expect things more like that.
And I'm okay with that though. Like as long as
I'm
we're playing
not.
them.
Well,
Thomas, oh my god!
From a selfish point of view, obviously I want to see Canada play teams in Canada, but like part of me kind of understands that like the Western Hemisphere is just really inconvenient for like the rest of the world. Like European, Asian, and African countries, it's different for like the US and Mexico because they can just pump a whole lot of money and incentives in.
Yeah,
I think on those lines, where Canada could probably be smarter about it. For example, if the US are penciled in to play a friendly against a team, play that team as well. Like they're already like
at least
in
maybe
the general area.
In the area, yeah. And you can even do the game in Florida.
I get the money thing, but you know, at some point we've got to treat it like. At some point, the CSA is gonna have to treat soccer like seriously and run it how the big teams, big countries.
Yeah, but not every big team plays every friendly at home. You have to understand, like we're not the center of the universe.
Yeah, but we could at least have like one or two friendlies.
Yes, and they will come, and they do happen. We've seen them. I've been to them, but like you can't expect every friendly. I remember when we had the one friendly announced. I think it was the Uruguay one away from here, and everyone lost their shit. I'm like, guys, like you. I think it's people who don't. Again, I'm not saying Thomas. I'm not saying you don't understand, but I think a lot of people just don't understand.
Who's that down on the ground right now? Is that Kennedy?
Alistair. No, it is Kennedy. It's Kennedy.
Yeah, I can see the mask. Boy, I kicked that ball out straight away.
Yeah. And there's Kennedy's injury history coming back. I'm watching the game on a Latino Americans feed. They didn't do goal on any CMT goals.
Probably more like goal.
They're too intimidated by Gareth Wheeler.
Yeah.
Would you rather
Canada, oh baby?
Would you rather a Latino version of "Oh Canada, oh baby"?
Michael, I think you might be getting your Zator wish at this. Looks like Kennedy doesn't look like he's in a good way, and he's had some injuries.
I think it's
more likely. Perfect storm.
I think it's more likely we got a Herberts before Zatar. That's my guess.
Since the 60th minute, yes.
Sorry, Paul.
I also pronounced Hybert.
Heberts, I don't fucking know. Either way, I think we'll get him before Zatar. That's just my personal feeling. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see
one of
Zatar
the two. Just for the love of God, one of the two.
Scott Kennedy just did the spray ball thing on the Gatorade to make sure he wasn't gonna put it's Lennox Larea.
We don't want to spray my leg with Gatorade. That's gross.
Yeah, exactly. And I see Adekugbe behind Larea. So guess what? You're not getting your wishes today.
That's actually a good point. Like Adekugbe is probably more likely as well. Here, and Zatar is still sitting on the bench with his penny on. Yeah.
Oh my god. It's a slow rise to the CPL.
This is a fucking. This is where you want defensive, like Larea and Adekugbe. Not saying they can't do the job, but they're definitely more attacking players. Bring on board with defensive.
They can do the job, but why? Like Zator can do the job. Corona Kielce have gone from relegation zone to 13th. Very much out the relegation zone since he came.
CMTD debut, Simon. Who are we? Because Hutchinson's coming on.
Hybert alert.
Hybert alert.
There we go. Hey, what I say? He's more likely to get it before Zatar. And Hutchinson, Adekugbe, and is this a 3-player swap?
Quadruple sub.
Oh, we got 4. We got 4 players coming on. Okay.
Is it just me? Maybe I'm like overthinking this right now because of like the sponsorships. Like I feel like I'm definitely overthinking this. Can't be the case, but like the numbers on the back of their shirts there, they kind of remind me of the CIBC font.
A little bit.
I feel like I'm definitely like looking into
I don't
something
think
that's
so.
not there, but like it kind of reminded me of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the subs ready for the screen. They're not being done yet. It looks like they're playing on before the subs.
I don't
So
know.
down to 10 men at the moment. Oh, that's a great like.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right. We're down to 10 for a moment.
I was gonna say that was great from Coney there to disrupt that.
We got a question on YouTube here, guys. What teams do you guys root for in club? I support Lazio, Sheffield United, Leeds, and Napoli.
I like the variety there.
That is a big variety. So I'll start with myself and we'll go around the table. In Europe, I have one team, which is Sunderland. And in Concacaf, I have one team as well, which is Ottawa. I let it go Ottawa. That's my 2 teams, and I would die for both of them.
No one
Thomas?
asked, but okay. Just kidding.
I was getting to you. Thomas, I'm going around in a circle. Holy shit.
Well, I mostly follow the North American stuff, so it's just mostly York. And out in Europe, though, I do follow PSV Eindhoven since One Soccer shows Eredivisie. I just started watching their games, and I just thought these guys play such fun football.
I like that, Thomas. It shows how much being on TV matters. You're listening to TSN, it matters.
Yeah.
Paul?
Exactly.
Yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm not Canadian. I am indeed Scottish. So I'm having a very, very, very good day. But at club level, I'm a Celtic fan. We actually played Lazio a couple of years ago, Adriano, in the Europa League group stages, I believe it was. We actually we did the double over Lazio. It was probably one of our biggest sort of results in the last since that Barcelona game. Anyway, particularly going into Rome. Celtic usually have a really poor away record in Italy, so when Encham scores that last-minute winner, I'm at work and it's one of these ones where I'm having to like go into Google and just like watch the score as it comes in, and like goes to 2-1, and I'm like, okay, hold. I'm gonna refresh that again, make sure it wasn't like an offside goal or something, because I cannot believe this. And then I start losing my shit in the work fan. I think I end up like punching the roof of the thing. Today with the Scotland game was like wild. Like I'm a very anxious fan. Like it goes to 2-0, and my immediate thought is, all right, we might get a draw. So it wasn't until I got to like about the 90th minute, 6th added on, starting to think, all right, I think we might win this game. It's like, especially with Scotland, it's
You've had some insane results. Was it in Malacca or Glasgow?
It was in Glasgow, yeah. And at Hampden Park. But yeah, like I've kind of been broken in a football context supporting Scotland, just in terms of like, I feel like everything that can go wrong, it has gone wrong at some point since I've gone to football about 16 years ago. And so yeah, I like refuse to let myself like accept we were going to win that game until like right at the end.
It was like planning ahead, but do you think the Euros could be the breakthrough moment?
I think it could be like a defining moment for Scotland, because I think this is by far the best squad we've had in a very, very long time. Like I would say, honestly, like since the turn of the century, like there's so many Premier League players there. Like for example, Aaron Hickey, the right back who plays for Brentford, he has to come off injured, and he gets replaced with Nathan Patterson, who's a Premier League right back with Everton. Well, that's just like a level of depth I never really had before. You look at the left-hand side as well, you got Andrew Robertson, and then behind him's Kieran Tierney. And like you got Greg Taylor as well, who wasn't in the Scotland squad, but that's just because the standard of fullbacks is ridiculously high. And like he's been like a very, very good fullback for Celtic, and I can see there's just too much competition ahead of him, which is something like you can barely say about Scotland. Like we're solid in so many places. The one weakness is probably up front. Well, and not since like the 70s have we produced anything up top in terms of like a good striker. Well, I mean, I'm saying I guess Ali McCoist, I guess in the 90s, but he was a different type of striker. He wouldn't really fit into this team. But like fullback, midfield, defense, like I've never known Scotland to be this solid before. And Steve Clarke is like, he's a really good man manager in terms of getting the best out of players, and they're really buying into it. It's exciting to see. If they do get to the Euros, I think the expectation has to be knockout stages at least. I think this team is more than good enough.
Yeah, when the third place thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm willing to accept that the last Euros was like we never been there before. Find your feet, happy to be there, sort of thing. But like if they get to Germany, which I expect them to now, Oh, that's a good ball.
Oh, that's a great long ball.
Defend that well, Alistair. Force
Oh, yes, Ali.
Yeah, work out the cross. There we go. Force a poor ball there. Got a little bit. Got a little bit nervous there. Obviously, like thinking, just don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Yeah.
That's such a like instant reaction now.
Don't
like,
take a swipe at his legs.
Yeah, such an instant. I think that's like a universal football thing. If a attacker's in your box, it's immediately think like, don't touch him.
Yeah.
Especially in those like one-on-one situations where all it takes is a stray leg.
I'm gonna have to be honest, Paul. I think the Scotland luck is because of that beautiful new 150th anniversary jersey.
Oh mate, yeah, it's like it's
Holy.
absolute gold dust back home. It's 90 quid and it's like sold out everywhere. You can't get a hold of the thing.
I know. You're gonna need the best bet, match worn.
Paul, we have a question. How's Alistair Johnson doing at Celtic?
He's doing fantastic, yeah. Like
Yes,
oh, nearly there for Jonathan David. Ball gets slipped.
That was
through
Davies.
from one of Davies. Sorry, apologies. I'm used to seeing David in those situations, especially with being more to the right hand side. But yeah, to answer that, I guess the biggest compliment I can pay to Alistair Johnson right now is he looks like he's been there for years. Like it feels almost hard to imagine Celtic without him. Like we've moved up. Celtic's right back beforehand was Josip Juranovic, who was like an integral part of the Croatia team that got to third place in the World Cup, and you don't miss him. Alistair Johnson's came in, and you don't miss the fact that like we had a World Cup semi-finalist right back there. He's he does everything you kind of want a Celtic player to do. Like he's hard, especially in Scotland. Like he's a good attack. He's good at attacking. Can put in a good cross. He's gonna get in your face. He's very passionate. Like we played 2 games against Rangers, and he's not shun away from anything in those 2 games. Which like I feel like sometimes the bar can be pretty low to be liked at Celtic. All it takes is just like either shout at a Rangers player or like make a successful tackle, and that's all it can take. We've got a centre back called Josip Simunovic. He left about 4 years ago, but he literally made his career off of 1 tackle in a Rangers game. And yeah, a couple of SPFL Team of the Week appearance.
We all know about the stuff that he's done against Rangers, but Paul, you watch Celtic every week, I believe. Does he do it on a Saturday 4:30 against Livingston?
Livingston is where football goes to die. They're the Scottish equivalent of Honduras. But yes, he does. He's like built for Celtic. Like all his attributes he have are like perfect. The moment I knew he was going to sign, is the moment I knew it was going to work. And I was telling everybody who would listen to me back home, like this is going to be a success.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it comes across he's been there for years in the sense that you cannot imagine the team without him.
Oh, from day one in Celtic,
you notice the difference when he's not there as well. Like Anthony Ralston's a very capable right back as well. That was fantastic as well. I love crossfield balls. All right,
nothing. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's a shame about like missing the penalty early because it's very difficult to get 2 penalties in a game,
especially in Concacaf, where like the standard is you have to like get a sword and stab someone to give away a penalty.
I remember.
Fantastic work there from Davies to win the ball.
We're in a nation where being CONCACAF is a thing that can happen. I don't think anywhere you can't go to Europe and be like, oh, we've been UEFA. No, that doesn't work. But you can't get CONCACAF.
The only way you can get FIFA is if you're bidding for the World Cup and then a tiny nation that you've never heard of connected to Saudi Arabia gets instead.
I think that's one of the few things. One of the very few things I like about 48 teams is like it's literally impossible logistically wise for a Qatar to hold the World Cup ever again.
Yeah.
Well, not if they pay FIFA to get it back down 32.
Oh, that's a bad tackle there from Andy Kirby. That was a Concacaf tackle there.
So we got about 20 minutes left in the match. We have one more sub. Can we see a debut, you think?
Let me take a look at who's actually on the bench.
Do we only have 1 sub left?
I think
you get 5 subs, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it Laturi or is it Tor? I go with Laturi.
I think both could work. Laturi, just because he could choose South Sudan, we could see Laturi.
I think
if we're going to go for Laturi. 4, then Laturi is the better one, even though I'm pretty sure he's a bit more of a defensive midfielder.
Who cares though? I mean, we're up by 3. There's 20 minutes left. There's no. We said this last time, Paul. You and I talked about this. we said there's no reason why Hutchinson came on the last game when Latori came on.
I would say this game's a little bit different. Like, if we were to assume he's retiring at the end of the season, but like, yeah, especially in any other context. So, also we brought Hyber on for Kennedy. Like, you don't want to change your you don't want to change your defense too much. So,
because you brought on 3 defenders.
I'd say
so I think it has to be Laturi.
Yeah, it's got to be Laturi. Like, it's not a good thing to wholesale change your defense. So it'd have to be Laturi.
Yeah.
In terms of sub that are actually left, like we've got Brim, Akinola, K, Laturi.
Now Brim would be an interesting one.
I swear to God, if Mark Anthony K comes on instead of Laturi, I am going to handwrite a letter to John. Actually, you know what? No, because it's probably going to happen. I don't want to go through with that. I'm just going to be very, very annoyed.
What would piss you off?
I'm not even joking. I forgot Mark Anthony K was in the squad.
Dude, I always forget it. I do. I said that on the podcast like 2 weeks ago. He's a guy I forget about all the time. But Paul, I'm going to ask you, what pisses you off more? If we don't use the final sub or we use it for K?
Use it for K because then I can tell myself we would have used it for Laturi.
But I think not using it is going to piss me off more because you had like last minute of the game you couldn't do it. Bullshit. It is like some pretty funny, like sort of sick stuff though. Like if Laturi comes on for a minute to go and he's full blown like cap tied to Canada. Hey, I'm fine with
that. Could we do like some?
You're right, Adriano. Like once you get past all the problematic natures of guitar, which maybe easier for some than others, like it was a very, very entertaining World Cup.
Yeah, it was the best ever.
And to be fair, maybe Laturi hasn't impressed Herdman enough in the camp, and they're like, "You're not playing, buddy."
There's always that.
It is that, and it's something we don't really consider. We consider, hey, you got the call. Why aren't you playing? But don't consider maybe you're just not doing enough in camp.
Okay, what if Atiba?
All right, we're still on for 8-1. We are still on for 8-1. For those
That's a good point. For
those that haven't caught on there, Honduras scored from a corner.
Hey, I'm 20 seconds behind. Hold up. Honduras scored from a corner. I just got it. Honduras scored from a corner.
Go on.
Nice flick from the back of the head there. Boyan doesn't get much of a chance. It goes into that ball. It goes into the right hand side. No one on the post there. But like, I don't really think that's much. That's here. It's not here, not by here.
It's a nice execution from the corner. Like,
yeah, I'm not going to complain too much. I'm not going to complain too much about that.
Hopefully, I don't think a lot of teams are stopping that. The way we had the players covered, it just happened, you know.
Yeah, if anything, maybe that'll just make Canada want to score a goal or two more.
All right, 5 and 18 minutes.
By me.
Let's
go.
Exactly.
5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. We are still on for 8-1. Give me 8-1 or give me death. Oh, nice little bit of skill there.
I will accept Latori over death.
Likes to work.
If I could pick an 8-1 against Honduras or riches for the rest of my life, I'd pick an 8-1 against Honduras.
Oh, good bit of skill from Threlia. Pick him at. Just cleared out the minute.
Yeah, I would accept.
I would love for there to be a way for Canada. I think we talked about this in the last game too, but I would just so love a way if Canada can find a way to get Buchanan, Johnson, and Lorea all on the pitch at the same time.
That was a nice move by Lorea on the outside of the box. Jeez.
I just
kick it away, Boyan.
There's so much talent on the right there. Like I know you can't shoehorn it in because that's not going to work. But like, it'd be nice if there was a way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a foul? Oh, that's not a foul.
Come on.
I feel like I want to watch it back, but like I think it's one of these ones where like it was too easy looking there for Davies that the referee assumed it must have been a foul.
Oh, fuck off. That's not fuck you.
Yeah, that's
that
is
nothing. Fuck you. No, fuck off.
We should just played on.
It's
either way,
number 9. There's a number 9.
Speaking of Davies, where's our numbers in the box?
That's a
foul. Go on. Coney just about overhit that there to David.
Oh, who's is that Akinola?
I think it's Akinola.
My God.
He's warming up?
Yeah, Akinola looks like he's warming up.
He's standing at the sideline.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah,
no shade to. I'm not trying to throw shade at Io, but take one for the team, buddy, and say you should put on Zator Laturi.
Maybe that's just to like appeal to the TFC fans or something there. Yeah. But, like, do you think even they care?
And he has 3 caps for Canada. He's already capped.
Even the TFC fans, like, I'm not even sure if Andre's a big fan of Io.
I was gonna say, I doubt Andre's sitting there going, "Oh man, I'm freezing my ass off here. This game's won, but I'm gonna hold out for Akinola to come on."
Yeah, like he was one of the question marks coming into this window. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot of
hopefully
people
he can
didn't-
hopefully he can impress though, because we keep.
Hey, hopefully next window though we have Kerr instead of Akinola. That's possible.
Well, we keep stressing the point that we want a third striker to emerge for Canada. So if Akinola can be that guy, like, I mean, I don't
Davies is coming off.
I don't
Fuck
really care.
Akinola. I'm more with Kerr.
I don't really care who it is. I guess with Kerr, you got more upside in terms of his age, but just I'd like someone to be there in case, God forbid, there's an injury to Laren or David or.
I mean, Akinola is.
They're having a bad day at form, and you want somebody else
23.
up there to change it.
Yeah, Akinola's 23 years old. This is
So
his
plenty of
fourth
time still, yeah.
appearance. It's his 4th appearance. His first cap came against trying to find out who.
Trying to Wikipedia on the spot there.
I am. Well, he has not scored. I don't think. No. I can't find who. Was it the El Salvador? What the fuck's going on here? Do you have another cap, buddy? Oh, he does. He has a cap for America where he did score, which was the U.S. against El Salvador.
Good for kick. No.
So that's where I was confused there. So he has not scored for Canada. He's been
Pinball in the
capped
box there. Balls to Adekubi.
Win it back.
It's a
Nice.
Honduras break. One back very quickly by
Nice.
Hybert, passes it off to Adekubi, and plays recycled to Borjan, the pants man.
The pants man, boring. I am.
That has to be a chant.
I feel like there's a country song in that.
Someone text Andre now with that chant. Get him to start something.
Starts boring and the pants man, boring and the pants man. Just keep it going.
Yeah.
I'm sure I know
Hopefully
it's like-
people catch on. I doubt they will, but hopefully they do.
I think I just noticed for the first time that what looked like a big, massive Honduran flag. Did
Yeah,
I
where the
Yeah, I
red
saw
patch
that.
boys are.
Yes. Oh, and dude, I went to one of the games I went to against Jamaica in Toronto. A Jamaican fan came into the Canada crowd, and like the supporters section, and all of us were like, "Dude, get the fuck out of here! Like, do you know where you are?" And by the end of the game, he was wearing a Jamaican jersey and everything. By the end of the game, he was supporting Canada. He got all in the hype of the crowd. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm going for Canada now."
I don't know, Michael. That just sounds like you indoctrinated a poor man.
What happens to the flag? The Jamaica flag.
Oh no, he didn't have a flag. He was wearing a jersey.
Oh, okay.
And he was
Zip up your jacket and
Because when he first walked in, a lot of people were yelling at him, and they had security come over, and security's like, "You gotta watch yourself in here,
But
bud."
for one Jamaican guy, what do you think he was going to do?
he's one guy.
Well, no, because
we've pretty much
no, it's
qualified. It's like
it's not
4-0.
no, it's not the. It wasn't that game. It wasn't the World Cup game.
Oh, okay.
It was another game. Like,
Yeah, I thought you were
past.
talking about the
And
freezing
it's not
cold.
about. It's not about it being one guy. It's about one guy who can stir and piss off a lot of people. It's not so much
Okay.
about him.
Though.
It's not.
I mean,
it's not so much
like-
about him. It's
yeah.
about people who might go for him as well. Now,
That's
again,
true.
people yelled at him. He settled down, and he wasn't a douchebag. He had fun with us. And by the end of the game, when we scored, he cheered with us. So
So what game was it? Was it
it was.
Nations League? No, it wasn't Nations League.
I'm trying to think because I remember
Probably
Cavallini.
exactly what you think he did, Adrian.
World Cup qualifier?
We won the game. It may
Probably
have been a
smoked
World
exactly
Cup
what you
qualifier.
think he did.
We won the game, so maybe that's what made him shut up. Is because Canada was winning the whole time. I don't know. What did he smoke?
I said exactly what you think he did.
Exactly what you think he did. Yeah. No, and honestly, he was his girlfriend was with him, and she was a Canada supporter. So I'll give him that. But yeah, no, once it happens, you don't like to see away fans, especially in the supporter section. You never know, right? You just never know.
Yeah, even in
Adekubi
like
gets the
the
ball.
smallest levels, people think it doesn't happen at like the CPL. It can happen in the CPL,
Dude,
and
I've seen it in
it
the
will,
CPL.
and it will happen in the CPL.
I've seen it.
Especially
Firsthand.
like the York fans hate Ottawa fans. Things could very well get like spicy.
Reggae boys are pretty cool. I will agree with you there. No, but Thomas, I have seen in the CPL when Edmonton came to Ottawa, there's a player for Edmonton, Batar. So we had a lot of friends and family there, and the friends, I believe it was more so the friends, came to the supporter section to try chirping us
Great move by
when
Cody
they
there.
scored, and it caused shit. Security guards had to come and force them to leave. Like nothing went too far, nothing went too crazy, but like you just have You have
You
some
gotta
bad
keep it in mind.
apples. Sorry.
This is why the CPL needs a designated away section.
Yeah.
Like the way the final worked. If the final was like away fans could be anywhere, it would get nasty.
Jamal has Costa Rica or Panama in the semis. Which one would you rather? I'd rather Panama. Costa Rica could be a dark horse in a lot of competitions. We've seen it before.
They can be tough, but they're also they're like in a weird limbo between like old and young.
I don't know if you know
You
this,
gotta
but they have a
remember
player.
I was gonna say you gotta remember Costa Rica did beat Japan in the
Kone.
World Cup and were very, very unlucky to lose to Germany.
I would rather have Panama 100%. Also, Costa Rica has a super kid named Jewison Bennett. He plays for Sunderland, and he's fucking great. And I'm not saying that because I'm biased, because I am, but that's not why I'm saying it. Bennett is something special.
For Simon and I's Concacaf podcast, he was like the first player on Costa Rica that I researched.
Oh, dude, so you would know. Bennett is beautiful. And what pisses me off is he played for Club Herediano, and he was sold right before the Pacific game. And I'm a Sunderland fan, so when I knew the rumors were happening, I'm like, oh, cool, I get to watch him against Pacific. And he was done right before, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Oh no, you'll just have to watch him at Sunderland.
And he's got two goals. He's got 2 goals now, and he's looked good. He's never started the game. He's been a sub every time for Sunderland, but he looks good. He's one of my favorite young prospects. And if you watch Sunderland, which I bet nobody here does, we have a very young team. We have the youngest in championship, and he's one player.
I watched the documentary.
I was gonna say, for me, it's either like I've heard this talk about like, oh, we need to win this game to avoid playing the USA or Mexico, and we'd rather play Costa Rica. Has everybody just forgot that Canada like won the World Cup qualifying table?
Yeah.
No, we don't forget it, but we still understand the importance of other big teams. And as Thomas said earlier in the stream, you want the easier routes regardless.
But like we're better than Mexico, we're better than Costa Rica, we're better than Panama. We can beat the US. There's absolutely nothing to fear from any possible team.
I know, but the thing with football is that on any given day, anything can happen.
On any given day, and most days, Canada will beat all these teams, and I don't think we should be acting like there's something to be afraid of.
At the 2018 World Cup, England is considered the better team than Croatia, but guess what? Croatia still beat us.
I mean, you're English in saying that. I think most of the world could have seen Croatia were going to win that game.
Most of them were hoping for that.
2018, 2020.
Yes.
Fuck
Yes.
off. Fuck
Yes.
off. No.
Yes.
No.
I don't think in 2018.
You would tell me the favorites were Croatia over England? You're mental. No.
England
Luka
was
Modric was the Ballon d'Or winner that year. That was
but he hadn't won the Ballon d'Or yet.
You cannot tell me Croatia was the favorites going into that game.
Yes,
Never.
I can.
Because Croatia, the thing with Croatia in that World Cup was like after the World Cup, like between then and now, so many players have retired. Whereas England were like very young. The players they had back then, the young players were like, well, not all of it, but you had like young, like I think your Dele Alli when he was good.
Yes,
and,
easy to project that England
was Sancho with that? Was Sancho?
Not quite. It's easy to project that 2018 team with who the players are today, but like that England team, nobody had any expectation for England in 2018.
No, but
the semi-final run at the time was.
But no one had any expectations for Croatia.
Exactly. We were the favorites. You can't say England were not the favorites against Croatia.
I can probably look it up and find out that Croatia were actually the favorites.
I'd like to see proof of that because I doubt it.
I can do it afterwards, but like you got to remember, Croatia won their group easily, including thrashing Argentina.
I'm not saying they weren't impressive.
They had to go through the hosts. Like they probably had a harder run than England did to get to that stage, and I think like the game itself, like Croatia outclassed England in that game.
Yeah, but did the whole world think that they were going to do that? Because they were great. But
I think it's very easy to get sucked into the England hype machine and think England are better.
Alistair's got a yellow.
Better team. Not liking me. He's very chatty, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's totally fine in terms of like suspensions going into the next round. As far as I'm aware, can't think of any Canadian players that got booked so far in this game.
Well, Vittoria did in the last game, but that's the only one that's like.
There was like 1 or 2 who were had potential to be suspended for the semi-final.
So,
as far as I'm aware. Yeah.
When it comes to betting odds, England was the favorite by far.
In what country?
This is according to CBS.
America.
In what country?
CBS is America.
and there's a lot of people who like England in the States. Like, you do
Okay, dude. I'm sorry. No, you got like how many? Like, where do you take your odds from? Who do you trust? Like,
Scotland. That's where he takes his odds from.
pundits
sorry.
and footballing
Wales.
experts.
Is
That's
where he gets
bullshit,
his
man.
odds
I'm
from.
sorry.
Most
You
footballing
can't-
experts at the time would have told you Croatia were the better team.
Where did you see this?
I was around in 2018. That's literally where I seen this. I can tell you, I've got testament.
Okay, whatever.
I really don't understand this hell to die on to
Oh,
say that. 4-0.
That'll unite us. That will unite us through our
Jonathan
differences.
Osorio, 4-0. Only 4 more
Betting.
to go.
Oh, great goal. Great goal. Signed,
That was
sealed,
a great pass.
and delivered. We're going to Las Vegas.
Let's go.
We're going to Vegas, baby, for Nations League finals.
There's
Well,
another
we are
Osorio
not, but
goal.
the
Let's
team is.
go. I would have liked that to be Akinola. I would have liked it, but
See, Aftab is right. No one even knew Crew Croatia.
Jamal they were not at all Croatia, were massive underdogs. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you.
I mean,
Oh, great finish from Osorio.
I mean, you guys really, I don't know where you're getting this from because Croatia were like.
No, we get-
the much
I don't know
better
where
team.
you were getting this
Paul,
from.
we get this.
Because
this.
everybody-
You're Scottish,
everybody from
you
a
hate the
profession-
English. You
It's
hate
not
that we've
that.
been better for so many years.
I'll tell you that
get
England are
it.
better than Croatia now. I'll tell you that England should have won the 2022 World Cup. But like in 2018, they were not ready. They were a stage too far. Croatia had far too much quality. And I think the game played that way as well.
I
think
think
England
we're in
were
your own
lucky for
little
that to get to
Croatian
the-
world at that point.
I think England were lucky for that to
Aftab,
get to
let's
extra
go the
time.
step further. No one even knew who Croatia was before the 2018 World Cup.
I mean, that is a very, very lazy opinion, but sure.
I would agree with Paul there. That is maybe a lazy opinion.
Yeah.
Coney on the ball
yeah.
there, plays it
Such our
out to
rivals.
Adekubi, take your time,
Oh,
pick
five.
up Canola.
Damn it.
Oh, ew.
Such arch rivals, Son and arch rival
Hutchinson
Newcastle
plays
are
the
doing
ball
very
to
well.
Osorio.
Yes, you do very well when you're the richest team in the world with bullshit Saudi money. Yes, that does happen. It hurts to see Newcastle doing as well as they are as a Sono fan. I'm not going to disagree there. It hurts, but it is what it is. You got to move on and just get back into the Prem and then pray to God that Newcastle never win anything like PSG. And you just prove money doesn't buy trophies. It helps, but it doesn't buy it.
I have a feeling that Sunderland, when they do go up in the next couple of years, I think they're going to stay in the Premier League. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to become like Norwich, like a yo-yo club. I think they'll be like Brentford. They're going to get in. They're going to stay.
I enjoy that. I appreciate that, and I think it's possible. We have owners who want to invest for the first time in a while. The owners that last time we had in the Premier League, they just didn't care. It felt, and especially once we got relegated, it just felt they didn't care whatsoever. We wanted them gone. They eventually left after putting us back-to-back relegation. But yeah, no, it's once we get up. I mean, this year we looked really good until all the injuries came in. We had a lot of injuries this year. But yeah. Didn't get to see the match. Is Davies injured or just subbed? Anyway, good night, everyone. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Maris.
Thank you.
Never would have guessed it wasn't your first language there, bud.
No, you're good. You're good.
I mean that in a sincere way. Sorry if that came across sarcastic.
Davies played for most of the game. He recently came off for Akinola from TFC. So Davies did play majority of the match.
No sign of injury or anything. He played fairly well as well. He was active. They haven't spent like Man City or PSG though.
No, they haven't.
Well, this is why Newcastle,
yet.
to me, out of those rich teams, is the most like
because you have to be smart
appealing
about
because they have not spent 10 billion players on Mbappe.
They have spent. They've still spent money, but they haven't spent as much like you said, Man City or PSG. But they will though. They will get there. They will slowly doing it. You have to do it proper because if not, you get in shit. So
it's a project though. The first project. They're going to want to.
Unfortunately, they are doing it right. And also, unfortunately, Eddie Howe is a fucking god who I still don't understand to this day, was fired from Bournemouth. But Eddie Howe is.
Also, unfortunately, when you recruit a player to a club, you have to recruit them to living in Newcastle.
Yes, and I've been to Newcastle. And every night I was there, I saw a fight on the streets. And I don't want to sound biased, but maybe not.
Good luck getting Mbappe to sign up for that after having, Parisian nights.
Go be like, all the guys who play for Man United and Man City, now they live in Manchester. They live in like a sort of like suburb towns like Cheshire,
Yeah.
I think it is. They live in like sort of like hoity-toity towns and like villages outside of Manchester in the suburbs. I'm sure there has to be an equivalent for that in the northeast somewhere near Newcastle,
Scotland?
right?
And then Newcastle.
Edinburgh's only about an hour away.
Where Newcastle, you got like Durham.
Good ball in.
Ooh,
Oh, just couldn't time the jump quite right there, David.
Yeah, in the northeast you got Durham. You'll get you could go to a little community called Headingley Hall. I don't know why I'd suggest that one. Maybe I have some family there if you need to know.
Blythe.
Blythe, yeah. We have a Gateshead. I don't know exactly where that is, but it's in there. You got Hartlepool with a League Two team. You know.
Yeah.
Never just naming places in the northeast. They don't really. None of these are particularly appealing.
They're not.
Stink
I will
did
say-
grow up in Newcastle. Yeah, like Newcastle's got quite a few celebrities from it as well.
Newcastle does, yeah.
Don't know if Cheryl Cole is known that way from Girls Aloud. She was there. Anton Deck, Paul Gascoigne. I think I'm just naming like specifically British celebrities now, but it's all I've got.
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer, famously.
Yeah, famously. I will say from the part of England where my family's from is Headingley Hall. We have two famous people that I know of. One was a murderer, so she's cool. And the other one was the drummer or the bass guitar player who sang Video Killed the Radio Star. So, yeah, and fun fact, I'm related to him through marriage. That's why I know this.
There you go.
Yeah. Have I met him? No. Will I ever? No. But
Jamal seems to think Man United can get Mbappe to get Qatari owners have good connections with PSG. I don't know though, because like
if
PSG
UEFA
basically sold PSG kind of sold the farm to Mbappe. Like Qatar aren't going to just let him go. I think a big part, the only way that's going to happen is if Mbappe wants to go to Man United. And I feel like if he's going to go anywhere, his heart seems to be set on Real Madrid, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
I think Madrid's the most likely.
If FIFA, or sorry, not FIFA, UEFA, they go with this multi-club ownership thing, first of all, there has to be restrictions on owners like, the Qatari government because they have so much money.
Who's that on the grounds?
I was about to say, who the fuck just lined
Is
up?
that Coney?
Adriano, thank you for the sub. Hope to see you back in the next watch.
Thank you, Adriano.
Well, thank you very much, Sub 45.
Thank
I hope
you
he's
so much, buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
Get the
he's been down for quite a bit, and considering the game's nearly over, you think there's
he has
no
moved.
reason. Yeah, there's no reason to time waste. They're kind of acting as if it's cramp, stretching him out. Hope it's nothing more so than that. But I mean, like from a Canada perspective, like I don't think the next game's in the summer, right? I mean, I don't really care what happens with Watford between now and then.
All of
really-
us.
it's
You
not
know,
really
they'll
my-
have recycled through 3 managers.
Not really my. Yeah, they were we're going for 3 managers by now.
I'd go to Real Madrid just for the weather. I'd go to
I
a lot of places. If you're choosing a club based on weather, I'd be looking at like, I don't know, Florida. Is Florida nice this time of year?
Yeah. Oh, Canada. Oh, baby.
There we go. Nations League taken care of.
And we get Costa Rica or Panama, which game is about to start in about 5 minutes. Actually, it's probably starting
I
now.
want to point out, I'm so happy we didn't tie this and get through on a tie. I'm very happy we got a convincing win.
They're doing the investment through separate foundations from one.
Yeah,
point
given
to
the way
choose
given the way the game went in Honduras as well, like it's really good to just have this be convincing. Like that kind of left because I feel like I left that Honduras game last year knowing that Canada were the better team. It was just frustrating given the weather conditions acted like such an equalizer, and if anything, like it just put us at such a detriment. So it was nice to just win this game like this and just prove like we are indeed a much better team than we knew. And I think Honduras, they certainly know that as well now.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Dominant.
we said that coming into this live stream, does home field matter that much? And it does. It truly, truly does.
Yeah, Canada have like a terrific record in BMO.
I think we haven't lost at BMO in like 14 years.
It's about 14 years. It really is. And it's
Well,
insane. Why do we play games anywhere else?
I was going to say, I would say in a cheeky way there, the 2 games against the big
National
teams,
Soccer Stadium.
against the 2 teams who probably be most likely to be Canada at BMO, they moved the games to Edmonton and Hamilton. No wonder you're unbeaten at BMO Field.
Well, you didn't want to fuck the BMO streak. You can't touch that.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Okay,
Just save it in
how long will they be
2026
playing
World
games
Cup.
at BMO Field considering their number 1 corporate sponsorship is CIBC?
Well, Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
that
ask
doesn't
there
matter.
as well. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to FEMA between now and 2026 with construction work getting done.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying we can't
Like-
savor this until 2026,
Look.
and then we can have games there.
More games, though. If I had to make one change, more games in Quebec or the East Coast.
Out west.
Montreal's a weird one, and Adriano, I'm assuming you're from Montreal. I gotta say, I saw Montreal, the Montreal where Canada played Curacao, and the fans there, and I actually got not an argument, but a discussion with a fan, basically saying we don't give a shit because Canada's not our country, and I'm like, why are we playing here then? And
Hold on.
I'm not
Canada
saying
played Curacao in BC.
no, in Montreal back in
A different
20.
game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in a different game when Alphonso Davies' debut was in Montreal. And I got in a discussion with a guy, and he was like, well, Canada's not our country. I'm like, what do you mean it's not our country? He goes, well, they're not our country. I mean, I guess it is our country. It's why you're here supporting Canada.
Yeah.
Montreal doesn't have a club in international football. And to me, it's just weird to see fans go to these games and be like, oh, we don't sell out tickets because we don't give a shit. I mean, that's great. So why are we here? I like to see more games in Montreal.
A lot of time
it makes
has passed.
sense.
A lot of time has passed now. I feel like if you played a game today, you'd probably have a different size of crowd than
Yeah,
you would back
maybe.
then. But we've got to
And
wrap
I
this
hope
up at
that's
some
the case,
point.
yeah.
So the game's finished. Canada's next game is going to be on June 5th. They're going to play either one of Costa Rica or Panama in sunny, beautiful Las Vegas, the Sin City. If they win that game, they'll play one of either the USA or Mexico for the right to be
Massive.
Nations League champions in Concacaf. Not far off that, we'll be onto the Gold Cup as well. So there's plenty of opportunity for silverware for Canada on the men's side. And also
So
have the
important.
women's side as well around the same time. So get ready
April
for a busy
11th is a women's friendly against France.
Exactly. So get ready for like a very, very busy summer. We'll be there the whole way. We'll be there before then as well. Make sure to follow us on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. We had a couple more subscribers today. Fantastic. We appreciate every one of you. We're doing well on Facebook as well. We're doing well on podcast as well. I said Facebook. What year is this? We're doing well on the podcasting. So make sure to keep following us on Make sure to keep following us there and listening to what we put out. We really appreciate it. Same on the Twitter as well. Right, Michael, where can people find you?
You can find me on Calling Michael on Twitter. And Adriano, I just want to make a quick comment to what you just said. I am also in Quebec. I'm in Trois-Rivières. For the most part, I've had very good experience with French Quebecers. I'm just saying there is people and negative output in the French community at times when it does come to Canada, especially the English side. But I'm happy you've had a good experience overall. But yes, Calling Michael on Twitter.
And where can we find you, Thomas?
You can find me Thomas Hewitt 22 on Twitter.
And I'm Paul McKen, 1996. Thank you very much to everybody who's watched this. So the final score was Canada 4, Honduras 1 in the Concacaf Nations League. We'll see you next time.